Let's do this. Welcome back. Oh man, was last session something or what? Um, Family reunion. What a lovely family it is too. It's your classic, good old, you know, uh, Clovis Concord family reunion. Well, revelry Clovis Concord kind of. So, a very unusual family that likes to play at the idea of being a normal family. Never really will ever happen, but the idea is floated. As the party had neared towards the southern tip on the bow of Salt, trying to make ground, you guys found the storm-battered Deadly Deceit, the warship flagship of Hero's mother's uh, whole situation. um, she proudly introduced herself to be the captain of the Dangerous Deceit. Um, Actually, she didn't really introduce herself. She just kind of had a moment with Kuro. Um, Kind of scanned the rest. Nira did, and then with some familiarity with Captain Shirku, took him to talk tactics in the captain's quarters. Um, and then everybody kind of got to meet around the ship. Kiro got to see some old family friends from around the community that is the Dangerous Deceit. Um, let's see here. Let's go meet the fam. Let's meet the fam a little bit. Where did I write them all down? Oh, they're slipping away from me a little bit here. It's fine. Met the family. Got to see everybody, some old flames, some old salt, some old everybody's. And maybe despite herself, enjoyed the return. Got to see Dad again, who is a water genasi with an excellent mustache, who seems to have taken to Ember for some reason. Maybe mutual mustache skills and maybe the sort of negative explainer thing going on, and it's cool. Instant buddies, or at least on his side anyway. We don't know how Amber thinks. But anyway, Kuro had joined back up, and it was time to run a blockade. And ran a blockade you would, using the terrain to your benefit. Kuro taking position on her old station on the Dangerous Deceit as navigator, and the rest of the party following closely behind on the bow of Salt. You guys meant to run the blockade with great speed and valor. But the ships were acting very strangely. They were moving at a pace that ships really shouldn't be able to move at. They weren't firing upon you. All very interesting. But it was Yvain who spied a most interesting thing. It seemed that though they had sails on their back for some reason, they weren't properly mounted. Some of them were tilted off to the right. Some of the sails had holes in them, and clearly a deception built on the back of these black-shelled dragon turtles to look like warships. But it seems the rumors are false. Instead, it was a family of dragon turtles. It was a deadly battle where we got to see firsthand the charismatic insanity of Captain Nira of the Dangerous Deceit, who, despite all of that, led her crew confidently through conflict, with Kuro at her back. The ship taking quite a brutal snapping attack from one of the dangerous dragon turtles. But in the end, it was Ember Van Zyl who wiped the slate clean. The more healthier one being temporarily shunted to some other plane who gives a crap about where, just out of the picture, and the other one blasted with fire. And though they were worn down by the weapons of the Bow of Salt and the Dangerous Deceit, it was Ember who saved the day. Flying forward, Human Torch style, lands on the Dangerous Deceit deck, welcomed aboard as he is, and with that, seemingly the run through the Craigs has been successful, making it out the other side and seeing no sign of warship to be had. A staggering victory for the Aurora Concordant, the Bow of Salt, and the Dangerous Deceit, which is where we will pick up today. So we pick up in the immediate aftermath of the combat, as Ember flies in and lands on the deck to the excitement of the pirates aboard as they sort of applaud the one-man firestorm that lands on the deck. Um, and you hear a call down from the aft deck Ember from Captain Nira, who says, "Welcome aboard!" And you guys are smooth sailing. The ship needs a little repair, but smooth sailing. But yeah, cheers are had, pats on the back are given to Ember, and a victory is had here on the Dangerous to Sea. Um, yeah, if there's anything you guys would like to do on the Dangerous to Sea, we'll go over to the Vow of Salt in a second.
Oh, after like it is apparent that no one is going to die, Hero like fully pushes herself off of her mom, and as soon as Ember lands, she's just gonna go straight down towards him. Nice job.
Thank you.
Is there any chance of that coming back?
Oh, it'll be back. It's only going to be gone for a little bit. The further we are away, the better off we're going to be.
Right. Repairs later.
Are there any injured people that need tending to?
Hero will kind of turn towards the rest of the ship. I'm assuming there are. She was a little preoccupied at the
Yeah,
moment.
there is. I'd say about half, maybe more, of everyone you look at is anywhere from like minorly like flesh seared from the steam to like straight up like being removed, like being pulled off of the deck to not be in the way of those who need to walk across it because they're just like their flesh is melting off of or has melted off of them.
Okay.
So yeah,
Ember will spend 30 minutes. Those are 10 minutes of casting
okay.
for Prayer of Healing, which will let him do 5 people at a pop. That's as much as I can do in one go.
No, that will be super helpful. And these pirates are very happy to listen to your prayers of the Changebringer, as it is a prayer healing. As you call upon the powers of Avandra to change this flesh from, all melty to like back the way it was. Everyone's like, yes, yes, totally. And yes, you are able to absolutely start providing healing to the excitement of everyone on board, including the officers. Eski gives you a pat on the back as well. Versus, well done, well done. And but he quickly runs off to keeping the ship alive. He runs by you, Kira. Goes, well done, honey.
Thanks,
And
Dad.
just goes. That's so fucking awesome. And he runs by to keep working on things. Your mother's got her like hand over the wheel, looking out at everything with a look on her face that it's hard not to feel confident as she has a look upon her that is utterly fearless, is without any doubt in her mind that things would have gone as well as they did. Um, Complete and utter courage, confidence, foolishness, insanity. Somehow it fills everyone with resolve, and the ship continues to function despite the injuries. And you guys shepherd forward. But let's quickly move over to the Vow of Salt. Similarly, hey, victories and applauds go out. All of you guys, especially Zarvolg, Cederic, Yvain, Dreisrin, Shirku for sure. Especially as sort of the heroes of the day. Pats on the backs are had. Little shanties start to break out. Maybe on the fly, someone's trying to make a new one. Some people are definitely suffering from their wounds, but by even those guys who are like missing like a part of their face are like, yeah, on the deck. Get me an eye patch and I'll get back to the rigging. And Shirku is like, well done, Unrun Dragon Turtles, another to add to the myth of the Vow of Salt. And of course, Shirku Marine. And everyone sort of laughs and he says, and yeah, and general celebration and high hopes are had. Morale is high.
Yeah, so not to steal Ember's thunder, but Yvain would go filtering around people with healing and such, making sure everyone is okay, doing triage and that sort of thing is
Not at all. Both ships need healing. Both ships need healing. You start pouring some healing down upon people, and they are most certainly thankful for it. As you're making your way away, healing is underway. You guys are taking stock of inventory of what needs fixing and whatnot. We are going to see a rather interesting sight. You guys hadn't seen it yet. I had described previously that there were to your left side as you travel, or left side of the ship anyway. Plenty of mountains, sort of like serrated waterways that don't really lead to anything that could be considered like a safe like landing or jetty or anything of the like. But it is at this point, as you've made it past this sort of initial landing, you make your way beyond to what looks to be like the largest and most southern mountainous structure. And all of the revelry and excitement, it doesn't end. Nobody's crestfallen or anything of the like. But it certainly gives pause to the celebration as all look upon it. Oh, where are you? Oh, all states. Okay, we're gonna do it this way. Sorry, hang on. What if, here we are. Oh boy, you look to the left, you see this massive mountain, and it gives pause to all. For when you look upon it, you are going to see something you never thought really possible. You see a massive, and I mean colossus, bigger than any creature you've ever encountered in size. You see a black iron helm that is about the size of the mountain itself, that sits affixed atop it, looking more like it is, in every sense of the word, a helmet, a war helmet, but it has a fortress-like structure to it. Very clearly makes itself to sit perfectly as a military installation of some kind, whether it be a massive fortress or something else. A specific description of it, I will give you now. It has the basic Spartan-like structure to the front of the face, where it has the divot to protect the nose, and sort of around the eyes and like dipping down to protect the side of the face. It is marked with nothing glowing, but even from this vantage, massive divots, which would be like rivers to run through it, but simply seem to serve as sort of some kind of divine or demonic markings across the helm to provide power. Again, on a normal helm, they would be just small filigrees, divots to create these markings, but you would know large enough to create entire cisterns or aqueducts through them, and perhaps even do, but you're too far to see. Behind it, and from the top of it, I should say, coming off of it is massive black horns and spires off the top, single point at the top, very intimidating. Behind it is a brass half-moon mantle that sits amongst all of the spires that are heavily decorated with markings that are beyond any ability to read, but clearly hold within them some unholy power. And jutting out from them are massive red spines, like daggers, coming out from the top and linked by a single, almost like bloody crescent moon. This has all the force of will, regality, and terror to signify indeed who you know to be the leader of the Iron Authority, the Strife Emperor. Rumors are true. They have built their armies on the backs of the armor of the Strife Emperor himself, and his helm sits at the greatest most peak as a symbol of its might, as a symbol of its iron-clad authority. This is the Strife Emperor's helm. This is a god helmet that serves now as the primary fortress of, what's it called? Tizarm. It is something to behold in all of its holiness, in all of its power, in all of its tyranny. Quiet washes over the crews as you look upon it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose at this point, Zarvog would make his way to the deck and just kind of like to the rails at the bow of the ship, and I suppose just quietly like stare. It's probably something that he heard a lot about um during his childhood, but I don't believe has ever seen before. So it would be kind of like for him sort of like hearing, the your greatest fairy tale come true, or um seeing whatever um semi-religious um holy icon that you're aware of in real life.
Mm-hmm. Probably a lot like hearing about like the Taj Mahal. Yeah, Taj Mahal's not a bad place, but maybe like a Roman palace or even the Colosseum itself. Maybe your entire life in that scene.
Right. Yeah, probably something like the Colosseum, or even the I guess maybe if you were born in the far reaches of Greece, and glimpsing the Parthenon for the first time.
Mm. And also worth noting, while we here today would be like, oh, we've heard about the Colosseum our whole lives, and you go to Rome and see it. This is this isn't an ancient Colosseum, the sort of ruins of an ancient time. This is a active threat. This is an active danger. This is the seat of a true superpower of tyranny. And if you were to go there, you would die or be enslaved. I am going to post a picture in Tal'Dorei. This is a picture. This is a profile picture of the head of Bane, and he wears his helm. So this is what his helm looks like. Imagine that sitting on the top of a mountain, just as big as the mountain itself.
Still, it's better more of the boat.
Ember will look at one of the crew folks who's nearby and just comment, I think he's probably compensating for something.
Make me a little performance check to break the tension.
No. Just no. Yeah, that'll get me to an 11.
I will say that anyone here is certainly anxious for such a tension breaker, and I think anybody in the proximity who hears you kind of lets out like a certainly like a chuckle at it. Definitely like trying to be in the moment, but there's you don't think they believe that, and they don't think you believe that, and the helmet itself is awe-inspiring, and it's hard for that tension to be broken, even to the willing. Your ship continues to sail by. You are not be attacked by anything. Nothing comes for you anymore, and your prayers go on, Ember. And you sail on by, leaving. It's sort of beginning to disappear. It takes a long. I'm not going to say disappears. It is humongous. This isn't disappearing on your horizons anytime soon. You kind of came around the bend to see it, but on the way out, it leaves its impression. And you leave, but it looms on your horizon for probably an hour, maybe even two. It's big, which is saying something. because you're traveling. But the further it gets, slowly does more energy, more life return back to the ships who, while maybe the morale was dampened by the sight of such a thing, it wasn't taken entirely. And the celebration of victory returns. Maybe not as heated as it was before, but we're like, oh, okay, we won. We got past it. Yeah. And then sort of as the shadow of the helm leaves, so too does the breath of freedom. It's something, though, especially for you, I would say, Kira. You are all aboard these ships, and you know that Captain Nira and Captain Shirku and the very purpose of a ship is freedom. Go where you want, sail the seas, unrestricted to whatever you want, do what you want, raid who you want, and be a hero to who you want. It is freedom in its essence. And Bane, the Strife Emperor, the god of tyranny, is in direct opposition to everything that a ship means. And it left its impression on the ship. But life returns to the ship, as a ship in and of itself is almost like a violation of tyranny itself. And maybe more subtly, the good gods themselves embracing the very essence of what a ship is, what it means, to allow that life and freedom to return, the very nature of a ship sort of combating the darkness that's been left behind. And you find life goes on, but it leaves its impression. No matter where you go now for the rest of this adventure, the sight of that godly helmet remains. The Iron Authority is not some fairy tale. It is there, and it is powerful. So what would you like to do?
Hero will, she'll follow it as they're passing it, and then she will just kind of drift back and look at it for a little bit, and then realize what she's doing and shake herself out of it. She's going to go below deck to where I'm assuming they're patching holes and just offer up her assistance, however helpful that is.
Absolutely. You just start going to work. Take your mind off it. Absolutely. I think the two ships communicate. Two captains communicate. Share some words of victory for everyone to hear. Captain Nira, she says, some fast sailing there. It's a good thing you have all that canvas. And Shirku says, good thing you have all of your canvas. Lucky we came along when we did. She goes, you call all of that luck? And he'll say, I know you do. And she just kind of smirks at him and says, when are we going to repair these vessels? Not that mine needs it so much. He says, we'll look for a landing on the shoreline there. What do you say? He says, too dangerous. I'm usually one for danger, but I don't like not being able to travel, so maybe we get clear of these mountains. Says, deal. We'll wait for jungle, take cover in the forests, do a little repair for your ship. He goes, aye. And she'll look down at the crew, and they're working away, and she'll say, what are you all so sour for? We just defeated dragon turtles and flipped off the Iron Authority as we went on by. Get back to work. And they all kind of give a little nod. Her words, it's the same thing with Ember. It's like, get back to work, get over yourselves. And they're like, all right, we will. And they consciously do their best too, but there is that sort of looming cloud over the ship after having seen that. Anybody else have anything they want to do? Yes, Sir Balog.
Yeah, so this is, something, probably an area about which Zarbog has given a lot of thought, and seeing it, consciously for the first time. So I'm assuming that also having been out at sea and now having been in sight of land, he's probably just, as comprehensively as he can, just kind of visually devouring the coastline to, just kind of try to like mentally map and kind of wrap his mind around the geography and the landscape that he can observe.
Absolutely. And you will, Zarvalg, as you're trying to shape yourself, I think, into a bit of a leader of men, so to speak. Um, you're looking at this coastline, and you're like there may be opportunity for a very specialized group of individuals who could like climb in very difficult terrain, like maybe a group of very capable rangers. Not it doesn't need to be too capable, but you know, uh, above table. Level 6 2024 Rangers get the roving feature, which allows climb speed. It would be those kinds of Rangers that you would have to rely on for like an insertion team out here. But as for like large scale combat, you're like, you're starting to get the. I'll tell you what, roll me an investigation check for tactics. A sort of tactical investigation. I'll allow survival too, because this is about terrain and you're a ranger. We got all that happen.
All right, you want me to roll both?
No, just one or the other. Your choice. I'm
All right,
sure I know which one it will
definitely,
be.
I'm definitely taking survival then.
Yeah,
That is a 19.
a 19. You're coming to the realization that the idea about a blockade, it may have been, if you don't know why the dragon turtles are posing the way they are, you know dragons to be smart. Maybe this is their way of, catching prey, or you don't know if they have you don't know the circumstances, but you're fairly sure at this point there is no sea capability from the Iron Authority. There's no need for sea capabilities from the Iron Authority. They are very naturally defended against any kind of sea incursion. Their mountains are high and long out of distance of any sort of siege weaponry, and their mountains are nigh impossible to climb for any army, and certainly impossible for any large scale force to land upon. So if this place is going to get hit, it's getting hit from the front, it's getting hit from the jungle. That's the only way up this mountain. So
Yeah,
you gather that from the side. Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate the tactical version. And I'm sure that that would be the tactical or strategic version would be certainly one of the elements in his mind. But there's also probably just kind of the humanistic side and the um I don't know, I guess the collision of like childhood imagery and adult
Mm,
reality of just kind of like seeing what this place looks like, right?
absolutely. And so you see that you get the tactic of it for sure. It's not too hard to see, but yeah, in those essences, like you look at this mountain and like you've been around some places that have been shaped by the essence of divine intervention. These mountains are oppressive, and you don't think that they're oppressive merely by circumstance. Perhaps the presence of this divine armor, perhaps the presence of the Strife Emperor and his faith have almost shaped the land itself to make it appear so like spined, unscalable, oppressive. And that is what tyranny is. It is this thing that seems impossible to challenge. And that is what these
Right.
mountains look like.
And impossible to escape, right? To some degree, if that's what you're
Oh,
after.
indeed, indeed. You probably maybe imagine desperate hobgoblins or elves or prisoners or slaves trying to escape and finding themselves on the edge of this mountain, and maybe the very dark thought comes to you of how many desperate souls have fallen upon these rocks, trying to hopefully aim for the water to escape, hoping they wouldn't be crashed upon the stone.
Yeah.
And how many more perhaps have turned back looking down there going, it's impossible. Um, Excellent. Um, who else we got? Anybody else have anything? It's okay if it's a no. We can continue on our voyage. Okay, cool. No problem at all. You sail on for a while longer. Quite a while longer, in fact, I would say. Yeah, I don't think you actually do any sort of landing today. I think your ship is just going to your two ships are going to kind of limp along a little bit. The hull of the Dangerous Deceit has been pretty decently harmed, but not bloodied, quote unquote. Any taking on of water has been plugged, and this ship could go back into battle. It wouldn't be. I mean, you always want to go back in top performance, but like if it had to, it could go into battle and perform and probably get out just fine. Especially with the Vow of Salt backing it up. So your ships will continue on until the night falls, and you guys find yourself in the ships as, like I said, as the light of day, ironically, seems almost tyrannical in and of itself. The visibility of the mountains falls into blackness, and your ships sail cautiously in a wide berth so as not to accidentally make contact with any of the shoreline. Maybe even, you know what? If I'm not mistaken, I believe like the sea, the sort of safe thing to do would actually be to anchor, because sailing in the black blind up against mountains is fucking stupid. So as the light of day leaves and the black night comes, they probably drop anchor, douse the lights, and maybe keep a couple of people up top just to crow's nest, one or two people, just keep an eye on the deck, keep an eye, make sure everything's going all right. But largely the crews head to below deck. And under candlelight, that sailor spirit returns, that life, as music comes, drinks are had, and shanties are sung, and the sort of the sailor's life of freedom on the waves cuts through the dark, grisly grim of the what you've left behind. Not even worth mentioning at this point. And songs are sung of victory, and one sailor finds himself having invented a song about your trials and tribulations. Let's see here. I'm gonna make a shanty on the fly here. Somebody give me a little bit of role play in the meantime, just a little bit. You guys are in below deck here, all sort of cramped into ship. Hero, you're back in these circumstances that you lived with your whole life, and some of you experiencing them for the first time. Cederic, you can't see the horizon, so maybe the seasickness is a little more intense below deck at night. Give me a little role play, folks.
So Yvain's gonna sit next to Zara.
All right.
And say, "Oh, so that's what you've been talking about, yeah?"
That's home, as it were. Not that I spent too long getting to know it. And honestly, I've never seen this part of it. I heard stories. I can't say that it doesn't live up to the stories, though. It is something to see.
Something to behold. All right, well. The leader of the Iron Empire is being supported by one of the dark gods. That's great.
Oh yeah.
That's excellent.
I could have.
Yeah,
actually, I'm assuming, Ryan, that Zarvog knows that the hobgoblins make armor out of Bane's. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, actually, it's widely known that hobgoblin weapons and armor, Iron Authority weapons and armor, are cast from the discarded shards of the rest of Bane's armor that lays around the peninsula. It's part of what's made them successful. Definitely a formidable warlike people. I wish we could bring the council to Tal'Dorei here and have had them ride with us, during the day-to-day to kind of witness that. There's obviously something's got to be able to stir them into action. I wish this could have been it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be complicated, and not because it's not necessary. Because they're going to have to figure out how to do it. Where is Velak? Autumn Velak? Is that where it is? Where you thought Page Elf,
Yeah.
we're killing him at some point. He owes us money, a lot of it. Tosh,
Right, yeah, I hate that guy. If if I remember correctly, and Zarval does, but I may not. I believe it's around the. I think we're probably maybe actually headed in the wrong direction. I think it's around kind of south and then around the eastern tip, sort of on the eastern side of the peninsula.
But it's
as far
like
as far as Aaron knows, we're
down in
heading
this area.
west.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's yeah. It depends on what you define as this area. It's a very
No.
large
I don't mean it's like
coastline.
right next door.
Right. Certainly, yeah. If we were to put in a few days of sailing, I'm sure we could probably get there if we followed the coast.
And it's considered Iron Authority territory.
Oh, very much so. It's actually one of the major encampments, one of the major cities, not encampments. That's the wrong word. I'm sorry. One of the major cities, one of the major municipal areas and hubs of commerce and trade and military power of the Iron Authority.
I hate everything about that. I do.
Yeah, who doesn't? What's a little Oh, I was just going to say what's a little kind of perspective rattling is that the borderlands, with which I'm much more familiar and have spent a little time lately, are about 100% more welcoming than this stark landscape we've seen today. So I'm afraid any major push or gain would have to be from the north by land.
Oh yeah, no, this is awful. And there's also, so this is the second time now the League of Miracles has sort of crossed with the betrayer gods.
Yeah, someone had mentioned something about that lately, right? That there's the champions of the betrayer gods.
Yeah, so the king of or the emperor of the Iron Authority is the Strife Emperor's champion, and is apparently holding on to his vestige at the moment. I'm sure that has something to do with his power. So the League of Miracles obviously helping out Joriel with an Andronach. Or not, I don't know, maybe she stole it. I don't know how she flied it, but whatever. It's just a weird coinky dink. And so then now we have, if you all are correct, and that is where Jomatosh was, he's down here in the middle of the Iron Authority. It's not causal. It is absolutely correlation right now, but it's making my senses twitch. I don't like it.
Hey, Ryan. She just mentioned the champion of strife and
Okay.
leader of the Iron Authority. Is this the same? Zarvog's about 27 years old. Is this not 27? I'm sorry. Is that right?
Yeah.
23, I
you're right.
think. Oh, maybe it's 27. Um, is that is this going to be the same guy that he would have been familiar with as being the known leader of the Iron Authority growing up?
Let's see. Tough to say. You know what? You spent that time at the court, and Sildar would have been connected to Singorn, which is connected to the elves who are protecting things in the south. So you would be getting more recent information uniquely. So yeah, I'll give it to you. Let's see here. Just getting your information for you. Want to make sure I get it all right for you. Oh, sorry. It's the helmet isn't as tall as a mountain, but it is 30 feet tall. So I hope that's still pretty big. Um, you are aware that the supreme military commander of the Empire is Iron Emperor Tizjar.
Yeah. That's
He was the leader when you were younger. He is the leader now.
Yeah.
You expect his skill and military command has only grown over the decades.
right.
If he's held out this long as the Iron Emperor, he's probably a pretty decent in the art of tyranny.
Yeah. As impressive and capable as the leaders in the North can seem, the stories don't really compare to the stories that I've heard of the Iron Authority commander growing up, which don't seem to be disputed in my recent conversations with the Tal'Dorei Council. Um, I'm afraid that he's got quite the hold and is quite the skilled military leader. He's got to be getting older now, but he was impressively young as a young man, sort of a conqueror um, of sorts without the advancement, but definitely someone who was able to very adeptly keep a large region under his tight control via various officers and delegates.
Oh shit. All right.
Almost revered and sort of worshipped. And he kind of now he struggles a little bit with like the
Is he their Finch?
yeah, at least they're Finch. There's not a lot of difference in hobgoblin culture, which is sort of forced upon all of the other goblins available. There's not a lot of difference in hobgoblin culture between being the greatest warlord known uh, on the on land versus being at least a demigod.
Okay, well. All right. That's cheerful news. Well, that'll tell us how we're going to have to fight this thing. Tal'Dorei doesn't have an army, and even if they did, from the sounds of it, they would never be able to create an army that could manage that. So we had to create a distraction and pull him out, or we're going to have to infiltrate. It all sucks.
That's, just between you and I, that's well beyond what I can kind of wrap my mind around right now. I have to say it was, a word that I learned, transformative, to even see it. It was something I didn't know that I would see in my lifetime.
It was impressive. Well, the good news is we're going to go kill the snake champion and take his toy from him, so you'll cut our teeth on that. And I think after she says that, she like wraps her arms around Zarvolg and just like ducks under his arm.
Hopefully he's holed up somewhere a little bit more hospitable.
Yeah, hospitable. We'll go with that one.
Okay. Eventually, the sailors' sounds begin to rise as they're kind of like, it's that thing where like someone's made a song, and it's built off of pieces of a song. You know, these people who spend a lot of time singing together. There's some verses where it's like, oh, we know this part, and they join in here and there, and it's very rough. It's very raw, sort of mashing together of slightly drunk sailors. But nonetheless, the song begins to erupt in the wake of all of this darkness and grimness. Oh, heave ho, the salt of the sea, to dragons below and fire to meet, boiling breath and snapping jaws will sail away from the devil's claws. And then the whole crew sort of finds themselves able to join in to say, oh, heave ho, the salt in the sea, dragons below and fire to meet, boiling breath and snapping jaws will sail away from the devil's claws. And everyone's sort of, ha, yeah! As they start to sing, and the guy continues on into other verses, and basically singing the song of a, like this, telling the tale, and it's like, with jaws of steel, the warship's keel, one jaw struck, but it held no gain. The deceit laughed loud, and the beast in vain. And every time it's interrupted with a chorus of a heave ho, the salt and deceit. And these songs go on, and you kind of see the camera kind of panning out from the warm interior hull of the Vow of Salt, singing, sort of ringing through the black of night and across the waves that lap across. It's damp, it's dank, it's wet down here, by the way. The water that crashes into the side makes its way through the planks, and you find that it's very hard to be dry at any given point. Not anything that would bother you, Kiro, of course. It is your natural state. And I think things are kind of similarly going well over in the Dangerous Deceit, but less about song and more like the pirates have taken to gambling, and they're throwing liar's dice off in the corner and making gambling and betting and drinking games. And everyone's just having a good laugh. And your mother has her arm around you. She's a little drunk, and she's like, you should have seen your face. You were going to piss yourself when it shot the boiling water over the side of the ship. Oh, my dear girl, you'll never get used to this life if you let everything scare you.
Yeah, and you'd live longer if you let a few things scare you.
What's the point of living if you're not living, girl?
So many other things. There's so much between life and death.
Oh, nonsense. Next thing I know, you're going to show up and say you're a banker.
Never. Never.
She is my daughter! And everyone's sort of like, "Hey!" And the girl applaud. And then cheers as her hat around. Different people come up to you and like have a word with you. I gotta find the document I had with all of their names on it. Where are you? Here we are. I think this is it. Nope, that's not it. That's okay. It's around here somewhere. But either way, yeah, you're seen with all kinds of uh, good good friends and good cheer as the night rolls on. Ember, you're sort of pulled into it all as well, and there's basically three activities. Seems to be gambling, drinking, or trying to evade the other two, and probably failing. And yeah, and it's a good night. And a victory is had and is celebrated. But the next day comes, the sun comes up, and travel continues onward some more. Um, Shirku is going. You guys go on deck and see maybe Shirku or whoever with the spyglass, and he says, "We have been keeping an eye." Oh, that is not his accent at all. He says, "We have been keeping an eye on the shoreline to make sure that we're not passing by our quarry. I haven't seen it, so I imagined it was let past. So we're just going to keep on going until we get visual sight of the bastards. Onward we go. I don't know how long it's going to take. Hey, I've got the question." She'll kind of turn to you, all of you, and say, "You have sending stones. You have the sendings? Do you have sending stones?
We have one, yeah.
Do you think you could give me one? I mean, you guys are also able to travel now, and I can send you updates if anything significant happens. It might be a couple more days out here as we're traveling up north.
We
Or
can give.
you're more than
Well,
welcome to be aboard."
no, actually, I mean, we can give you the one that we've given to Tally, and just buy a second one when we get back to Imon to give to
Whatever
Tally. That would
works.
do it.
Sure,
Ember.
whatever is easiest for all of you. If we can communicate, I can let you know as updates occur, and you can go do more hero things in other parts of the world, huh?
Yeah, Ember, do you actually? I don't know if you have Tally's sending stone or if above the table. I don't know if you have it or if Bane has it. But one of us has the sending stone for Tally to communicate with him.
I think you must.
Okay, then yeah. Then I will give that one to. I'll give that sending stone to Shirku. And I'll get the
Absolutely.
one from Tally when we get back, so that we
He
have a
says-
way.
Yeah, he says, "We're just going to be traveling up the coast and north, and I'll let you know if we catch wind of the bastards, and you can be here to enjoy striking some blows, huh? But I don't want to take up your time if you've got other great heroic things to do."
All right. Where do we want to get back to, gang? Imon?
I'll say at this point, the dangerous deceit kind of comes up upon the ship, and Captain Nira. Actually, no, Captain Nira will just like speak to you, Kira. She says, "Well, no, I was promised plunder for this little escapade across the sea."
You were. However, I think that was before we both knew we were dealing with dragon turtles. And considering the ship's still standing, you've got a new title, you've got a new song. For the time being,
What are you chasing, girl?
it says, what am I not? The
You're
world's,
always chasing someone.
the world's a lot more complicated than than it was when I left.
If you say so.
There,
Just answer me
there-
this. There plunder to be had?
sometimes, if we make it out alive,
Then this is what I'm going to do. I am going to attach my ship to the side of your vow of salt. And when we come upon something that needs destroying, I'm taking what it has aboard. And that will make up for all of my travels and tribulations here and all the repairs that's going to need to be done to the ship. And once I'm satisfied and my holes are full, then I will return home and be out of your hair again.
I think that's a fair trade.
And so it is. Tell your Shirku Marine that he is lucky enough to have the Dangerous Deceit at his side for a while longer.
Sure you don't want to tell him?
I've told him plenty. But you need to get back to your friends, no?
I do. You know,
Well,
for
go
me, I
on.
thought that you were going to give me all the reasons to stay.
Honey, I'm a pirate. I go where I want. And what kind of good pirate would I be if I told my daughter she had to stay in one place?
My mother.
I think the role of a parent, for all the parenting advice a pirate captain is going to give, I think the role of a parent is to try and keep their child safe, and it's the child's job to test their abilities to do so. Now that you have successfully ran away from me, we can be honest with one another. You don't want to be on the Dangerous to Sea, at least not while I'm aboard it. One day I will perish, most victoriously, wealthy, high on drugs, and you will become the captain of the Dangerous to Sea. And on that day, I am sure you will return proudly, and sing many songs and have many drinks in my memory. But until that day comes, you have to carve your own path and not be under Mama's wing, huh?
All right.
So go on, go be free, go with your change bringer, and come back when the fighting gets good.
I will. And she'll start crossing, because I'm assuming there's a plank or something.
Yeah, we'll say the ships have kind of laden up to each other for the moment.
She'll turn back right before she starts crossing, and she'll look at her mom and say, "It was never about you, but it was about everything else."
I know, dear. I know. I know the gods have a different path for you. You got the Raven Queen taking things from us family. And you also got the mother blowing winds on you to go travel the world. So go with the change bringer. Go see the world. Go be a pirate.
Whatever it means, stay safe.
Not in your wildest dreams, girl.
I know, I know. And she'll cross back over to the other ship.
Your dad puts his hand on Ember's shoulder. Says, I'll miss you.
Take care of that thing. They aren't easy
Oh,
to
I
come
will.
by.
Oh, I will. They're not easy to grow. And you as well. But I hope you'll return. And it's been fine getting to know you, sir.
And you, keep an eye on your daughter.
I appreciate that.
I'll make
I
sure that she
appreciate
stays mostly in trouble.
Mostly, not all the time. Mostly. Well, off you go then. And Kiro.
Ember will burn one of his flights and will walk across.
Yeah.
from deck to deck.
Yeah, and everyone loves that. All the pirates are like, yeah, you're a bit of a local war hero on this ship, it seems, and everyone loves it when you do that. And they're like, I love it when he does that. And they have a little plot as you do a little show for them. What's a pirate if not a showman? And Kiro, you pass over, and the crew, different members of the crew. You look as the navigator, tiefling girl, waves longingly as you cross back over, and you leave home again, and return back to the Vow of Salt, back to your friends, to your group, with Ember at your side. Your dad blows you a kiss. Says, "Be good, dear. I'll see you when the weather turns.
As good as I've always been."
Stay safe." And the gangplank is pulled. The two ships begin to go a little bit, and Beverly, say, "Welcome back."
Thanks. Anything exciting happening over here while I was gone?
We got attacked by dragon turtles.
So did we. I
Hmm.
hate those things.
I didn't know I didn't like them, but now I do.
I want to never see one again. Knowing our luck, I feel like we're going to.
What? They were so cool. You don't want to see them again? I mean, maybe from
No.
a distance. Okay.
I never like to see one again. I never like to smell one again. I never like to hear one again. I would be completely happy if I went my entire life without seeing another one of those things again.
Fair enough.
They think.
It's probably the
But
safest
what
way
a
to go.
glorious shield they would make.
Mmm. Imagine making a ship out of one of them. Like a shell. Shell becoming a ship.
Okay, honestly, I was thinking it's a terrible waste of meat and materials.
Did any of them actually die though, or did we just
No.
make it
No,
annoying
got,
enough for
I
them
thought
to
we got
leave?
one. We got one of them, didn't we?
No,
We
no,
did it.
no.
It was a real humanitarian effort.
Oh. Well, then I do feel better about not having, wasted the meat and materials.
Shirku from the top, he goes, "Nonsense, there's no waste. The Wild Mother takes back everything.
It's true, actually. All right,
Death
so
is very natural." He flips out Raven Queen today from his many pendants.
So can I say I've been on an escapade with the Pirate Queen now? With the Pirate Queen and Shirka Marine and the Pirate Queen. Yeah.
Tell my tale. That sounds like a good one.
My mother does not need any titles added to her name. She's good.
She's not the Pirate Queen.
She might even be great.
I'm sure she would like to think of herself as a pirate queen.
Oh, I'm sure she would. She'd like to think of herself as a lot of things.
Maybe we should make her a pirate queen. Does the Council of Tal'Dorei have extra spaces?
You do not want her sitting in on those meetings. Actually, you would.
No.
No one else would.
No, I fucking wouldn't. She's insane.
I'm
The only
glad you
thing she
read.
should be governing is a bottle of rum and, frankly, the Dangerous to Sea.
I didn't get much chance to speak with her, but she doesn't seem like someone who would enjoy a council meeting.
Enjoy turning it on its head. She would enjoy taking what a council meeting is supposed to be and shredding it until there was nothing left. She'd enjoy that.
Exactly.
I mean, for the record, they're terribly ineffective. I'm not certain it wouldn't. Okay, none of that. Nobody say anything about this to Zarok.
I can see her very much enjoying a council meeting for the sole purpose of, what is it? Shit disturbing.
I regret asking this question. How
See, now
long
you're
have you
selling
known
me,
my
right?
mother?
How do I know your mother?
How long have you known my mother?
I've known her for a bit. Long time ago, when I was a young girl, I sailed the seas, and I found myself aboard her ship at one point, admittedly. And she took she took a prize a ship. She was forming herself a little armada. And, well, I decided I wanted a ship, so I took it. In the night, while she wasn't looking. Didn't run aground. And so you stand aboard the Vow of Salt. She wasn't too pleased about it. But, well, the ledger has a way of balancing itself out in the Menagerie Coast.
It does.
I did have to flee to Tal'Dorei. She was pretty pissed for a little bit. This was
Be the
probably
first
before
one.
your time, actually.
Hearing that my mother chased someone out of an entire ocean does not surprise me.
Luckily, the sea's just a little too big for her, but only a little.
When I worry, it gets smaller every day.
I love this
There's-
woman even more every time I hear about her.
She's hard not to like.
Is
She is the
she?
definition of free. I would say that.
Definitely that.
All right, so we're going to Imon. Where are we going? We can go anywhere. Well, we can go anywhere that Beverly can bump us to.
Were we not catching up with a champion of the betrayer gods today?
Oh, apparently it's going to be a couple days, Shaku was saying. So we can just bamf somewhere, and then I've given him a sending stone, and he
Shirku
will.
says, the problem with chasing a ship is, well, there's a lot of factors. Does the wind like them more than they like us? The Wild Mother on our side? Well, she's on our side. But chasing ships takes a long time. They generally go at the same speed, especially when they're going in the same direction, as the wind only goes in one direction at a time. But we'll let you know when we catch up, and we will catch up. Now I gotta lug around this warship after me, so some of my speed's gone.
I should mention, so I kind of made a deal with my mom. Yeah, you remember this. And I told her that she would get gold and riches in exchange for escorting us. And the funny story, I didn't know that those were dragon turtles at the time.
What?
So she's sticking around for the moment.
Okay.
The problem with that is if they catch up to the champion, they do battle in the water, what have you, and we're not here, my mother has free reign of anything on that ship. And there are few things that my mother loves more than wealth. And I have not seen anyone to date be able to pry her away from it.
Hero dear, does your mother know about the vestiges?
You know, it did not come up in any conversation that we had. I thought it best to keep that information to myself.
Right, so
Shirku goes Captain Nero with a vestige of divergence. Oh
could
no.
we perhaps prevent that? That's if I don't care about her having wealth. I truly don't. I hope she's quite prosperous, but if we could just agree that she should not have the vestige.
I am all for that plan. I am
Okay.
saying that she may not know what it is. My mother recognizes power. That is part of that is part of how she got to where she is now. She may not know what it is. She'll be able to tell that it's important. And if none of us are there to get to it before her, we won't get it away from her. Not without killing
Shirku
her and
said,
everyone aboard that ship.
Oh,
Shirku says, it's true. She's very impressive at sniffing down a prize. One time she looked at this, there were like 3 ships, sailing ships, same banners, same flags, everything. Nothing about them particularly different. And she pointed at the one at the back and said, that's the one. When we hit it, it was the one carrying the merchandise, and the other 2 were defending ships. She has an uncanny ability to sniff out wealth.
Okay.
You get her what she does, and what she does
Well,
is find treasure and get rid of the people that have it. Or the people that want it.
well, fear not. Shirku Marine has stolen from the Plank King himself. Pirates will be pirates.
All right then. So long as we agree that your mother, while lovely, should not be trusted with a dark vestige.
I would not only agree with that, I would do just about anything to make sure that that didn't happen.
All right, well, very well. I don't see that we have a problem. I don't know why she would want a measly little whip that an ugly snake man had anyway.
You, my mother's style as well, in whatever form it takes. She makes it work.
She really
Just
does.
get us something else. There's so many things of value. Certainly we could find something, that's not connected to a betrayer god that she would also like.
Listen, we could give her a giant jewel, and I don't think that she'd much care. It's just what she has in her hands first, and convincing her that what she has in her hands is a better prize than whatever we're trying to sneak off.
Well, if she gets it in her hands, chances are you're not prying it out of them. If you're to offer her too, it's like, oh, I'll give you this for that. Yeah, she's a pirate. Somehow she's gonna get both things.
Oh, okay.
Or
So,
try to, anyway.
At least we know. And we've got some very intelligent people, right? We will work this out.
Fear not. This isn't, when it comes to pirates, it's not really a rock, paper, scissors kind of thing. They don't really have a weakness other than other pirates. So the trick to stealing from a pirate is to dealing, bartering. The only thing a pirate really respects is someone who can steal from them. They'll hunt you and kill you for it, but they'll respect you.
I actually really like pirates.
Pirates are great. I'm a
Pirates are
pirate.
great.
This is my life for 20 years. I miss it some days, as weird as that sounds.
Not so weird. Is there anything more free than sailing across the sea, wherever you want to go, and then seeing something on the horizon going, I'll take what they have.
It was fun. It is fun.
It's very fun.
All right, so are we going to Mon, or I mean, where are we going?
Well, have fun.
Anyone?
He goes back
Anyone?
to sailing. Bevel's just nobody answers. Bevel say, I mean, it's good. We can always
All
just
right.
see
Well.
if the council's got something for us. I don't know.
Cedric, you said you needed to see your sister in Westruun?
Westruun.
Your silent spell is active.
Ultimately, yes.
We could bamf to Westruun.
I think that would be appropriate, considering that we took poor Cedric out in the middle of the water, which is obviously not comfortable for somebody who wears that much metal.
Well, then.
And conveniently, several of us have these, which is the Shield of Westruun, which should hopefully provide a appropriate anchor for Bev.
Hey, I like things.
And Bev knows the city real well too.
I do. I was there when you all came through, and now here I am on a pirate ship with a big sword. And
And looking absolutely fabulous.
You do look fabulous.
thank you. And more money than I ever know what to do with ever. Other than go to Gilmore's.
Oh, is there anything else?
All right. So Westruun, it sounds like.
There's no more business with these champions of the betrayers.
Oh, we'll get to that in due course. There is information to be had concerning one of them in Westruun, in fact. So,
That's true.
They're going to keep chasing them, and we'll just come back when they find them. That way we
Yeah,
can make
they're a
use
little
of our time.
secretive. Yeah, they're hard to pin down. So we gotta wait for them to pop up.
Let's see. Well, I have to adjust.
All right. So Westruun, in a minute. Okay. Everyone staying close to me in my hat. And as it seems to be the way, I'll say that she's like kind of folded up the hat into like a tricorn situation at this point. Kind of pinned it up. And she's like playing with it, trying different ways of doing it. And she will cast through the hat of teleportation a teleport spell. Which means I need to roll D100. See how well that goes. She is very familiar, which means it shouldn't be too hard to get there. Hey, not too hard at all. That lets things. Oh, never mind. Ow. That is the description of what happens next. You guys are. She casts teleport, and everybody takes 14 points of force damage, as it feels like it's impossible to really describe, but it feels like in an instant someone has tried to merge you with stone, basically just like incorporate you inside of a mountain with no tunnels in it. And it hurts, like the fabric of your very being is trying to bind to a mountain, and you kind of bounce off of it in a way, and it hurts like a motherfucker. And then So here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna roll the damage because I did roll another mishap, and then it happens again. That's gonna be 9, 10. It's gonna be 10 more force damage. Now here's the deal. I'm gonna stop rolling because over the many campaigns that I've played, it has largely been theorized that I'm cursed with a teleport spell. It doesn't matter how good your percentage is, I will always roll mishaps to the point where it almost kills the entire party. So I'm gonna have one of you guys roll the next D100.
Okay.
Just because this is the way my whole situation is.
Is there
Zarvog,
a
yeah, roll
tree
D100.
nearby?
All right.
Sorry?
Is there a tree nearby?
You're in it now, so
78.
hey, that does it. See, it's just me. Yeah, easy enough at that point. It was a there's like a 1 in 4 chance basically that you would miss the target in one way or another, and an even lower chance that there would be a mishap. And yet I rolled 2. It's literally a 0 to 5 on a D100. So there's a 5% chance, and I rolled 2. So that's who I am as a person, apparently. But anyway, thanks to Zarvolg rolling instead of me, you guys appear and go, fuck, my bones. Your body's hurt. It's force damage, so it's up to you to decide what that wound is like. Like, yeah, maybe Kira, you got a broken nose, or Yvain, your ribs are a little bruised, or whatever. But you guys have definitely taken. It is very much like you got bounced off the side of a mountain, or someone tried to incorporate you inside of one. So you're like, you are wounded, like physically, like bludgeoned. But more importantly, you stand in the city of Westruun. We don't need to talk about that. We don't. We need to talk about Westruun. Welcome, one and all, back to this city at the center of Tal'Dorei, the heart of it, really. It is a crossroads of culture from the Silvercut roadway all the way to the Lycidian coast. There is much to be seen, much to be done here. Many tales of barbarian tribes wandering the dividing plains, especially the now very friendly. Oh, I've dug myself into a hole with these factions. Here we go. Barbarians, where are you? Nope, not you. Oh, the Rivermaw herd. The Rivermaw herd, which consists of generally nice barbarians, if you can consider them to exist. Hailing the Storm Lord and roaming the lands, raiding the more vicious and evil, anti-civilized bands of raiders. Sort of a natural defense the barbarian culture has created. But here, inside of its high walls, there was many farmlands that's. Ow, cat! Ow, that skin! Oh my god! Sorry, had a little cat issue there. That only hurt a little bit. But yes, in here it is a wide open district, civilized place. It is no Amon, but it will serve its purposes. Many temples, many places to see, and home to you, Cederic. It has been a long time since you've been here, and it has changed a great deal. You recognize immediately the sort of crossroads that you're standing on that Beverly has brought you to. You see one of the temples over there that has long been standing since you were a child, but the buildings are all very, very different, more recent, more new. You had heard of the attacks of the Great Dragon from before, and find that it is rebuilt very differently now. There are some buildings that are half complete. There are some buildings that are completely rebuilt, but everything feels very new and polished in the aftermath of the Hope Devourer and their destruction. But you are home. Westruun is yours to do with what you will, Aurora Concordant, and you yourself, Cederic. So where and what would you like to do?
I've always been a believer in business first. You said there was someone you needed to speak to.
Actually, I promise you that can wait. Let's find your family first. Or let's go to Ulf's first and sit down at the tavern. We can do that. And have a base of operations.
I wouldn't mind a drink. I'm
Yeah.
feeling a little achy, like everywhere.
Yeah, everything kind of hurts. Maybe a meal and I'll
A drink
short
sounds
rest.
delicious.
Yep. Beverly's got a black eye. She's like, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
No,
really.
it's hard. It's super hard. No, it's difficult.
magic's weird.
Do, do,
No
do
matter
you
who
do
does
you
it.
realize what you just did? You crossed 1,000+ miles of distance in a blink.
I did, didn't
Some
I?
pain is going to happen. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Frankly, I'd be kind of concerned about the state of magic if you were able to do that flawlessly every single time.
But let's not get too excited. You can still work on it, though.
You're right, right. Yeah. Yeah, she's like got her chest puffed out and everything from the whole crew being like, it's yeah. Amber's got a broken arm. He's like, it's fine, dude. And Zarval, you're like, but look at work on it though. And he's like, yeah, no, of course, yeah, no, right. I'll work on it. And as you guys walk, she's like, she's like looking around and everything. She's really taking in the city for the sake of being as familiar as possible with it. And yeah, you guys can absolutely come to
The Sunkissed Tavern.
Sunkissed Tavern. Thank you. I always have someone around to help me with my lore. But yes, the Sunkissed Tavern, the original source of your headquartering here in Westruun, I guess we'll call it. And yeah, you make your way in. Ulf will be behind the tavern, this big, pretty old barkeeper who goes, Defenders of Westruun, welcome back. Welcome back. I'll bring it in, Zorval. Yeah, bring it in, buddy.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, oh, it's got grab a seat. I'll give you a round of ales, huh? And he'll do just that. He'll bring you over nice frothing glasses of ale for the Aurora, well, tankards of ale for the Aurora Concordant. Pat you all on the back. There'll be that preliminary sort of like, how are we doing? Oh, good. He goes, oh, I got into a little bit of a fight there. You got a little bruiser there. She's got her black eye, her eyes like shut. She goes, yeah, no, it was a little bruiser. Yeah, I got into a fight at a mountain. And she goes, yeah, I'm sure you did, kid. All right, let me know if you need anything. He fucks off.
Sarvok has been he always wears his Defender of Westruun pin, but he will move it from under his cloak to very prominently on the outside of his cloak. Let's make sure that everybody knows.
You hear a consecutive across the bar. Ooh. Ah.
Question.
Good to be back.
Yes, Kira?
Quick question from somebody who wasn't there. Why exactly did they give you those?
Oh yeah, we saved the whole city. I mean, there was a lot of nastiness going on. There was, oh geez, there were an army, a virtual army of undead that we, somewhat single-handedly subdued, and multiple curses. There was a lot going on. Oh, I forgot about that ugly mountain.
There were the
That's
two.
not far from here, right?
There were the
Yeah, I
two.
gotcha.
Yeah. No, there were the two tiefling brothers, and was it an ogre?
Oh, right.
The magic ogre.
Yeah, that made everyone
yeah.
have like the horrible dreams, and then they stole like 72 children.
They stole all the children, and we brought them all back.
Yeah, they were trying to open a portal so that the Horned King could winter in Westruun.
He's a demon lord.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ember
We had to
will
fight like a big demon minotaur thing, and
Yeah.
Finn killed it.
Ember will
about to
reach
ask
over
you, that's where the
and
horns come
tap
from.
the horns on Finn's armor. That's
Yeah.
where those came from.
And
He's a good boy.
Zarvog will open up pull his armor aside and show his big minotaur gore in his gut.
Yeah. You see, Fenn is like, maybe he's wanting to do every now and then. He's like, like trying to reach for the Minotaur horn to chew on it, and he just can't quite get it.
Right. It keeps moving every time he moves his shoulders.
Yeah, purposely designed so he can't gnaw the horn off of the end of the armor. He's reaching for it, and his shoulder goes back as he does every time.
God, so you're forget you're legends around here.
I don't know that I'd go that far, but I mean,
Poppy gives you a thumbs up.
yeah.
Mm.
Oh, we got thrown out of the library.
How did we go from saving the entire town to getting thrown out of the library? Wait, you got thrown out of the library?
Yeah, well, we snuck in, like we burgled our way in.
To a library.
Yes.
At this point in the story, it was not uncommon for Yvain to get thrown out of nearly every place that she entered.
That part is
It's
less
also
surprising.
not untrue.
It was more the library part.
We didn't steal anything, but apparently they were very. You're not supposed to sneak into libraries to read. You're not supposed to do that. And it was frowned upon. So Ember and Finch and I were thrown out of the library.
Each got thrown out of a library.
Though
like,
we were
plainly asked to leave.
tangentially connected with a robbery, too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming.
But we don't talk about that.
Oh.
We didn't do it, though. It wasn't us. It was someone else. But she was with us for a little while.
Overgrown cats.
Herding cats,
Steal.
don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Especially criminal cats. Bandit cats.
Mr. Mistopheles.
I'll take
Let's
your
wait
word
for-
for it. Thrown out of the library. Yvain and Finch got thrown out of a library.
Hey, that reminded me though, Yvain, there's so much here that I enjoy in Westruun. I almost forgot. Before we leave, I definitely have to stop and see Eskil.
Yes, of course. He's so cheerful. I do enjoy his company. He's lovely. Do you think he'll let me read any of his books?
No.
Yes, well. Oh. I need to see Eskil.
All right, so I assume we catch up with Ulf here. We have a few drinks, and then sounds like we have a list of places we ought to visit. Maybe we should prioritize that. Start checking them off one by one.
I still think Cederic should see his family first. It's the most important reason we're here.
Question. Cedric, do you want all of us there when you meet your sister?
I'm not.
Good question.
I'm not rightly sure exactly where she'll be. I only know she came back this way. And I suspect she won't be all that happy to see me.
Beverly's like, what? Why? You're a knight now. I mean, maybe you always were, but still, you're a knight.
Yeah, that sort of stuff isn't really impressive to her. She resented what I've done with the last 20 years.
What kind of maiden isn't impressed with knighthood?
One who wanted me to stay rather than leave.
There.
Well, we'll give you the option, Cedric. It's a family thing, and we all understand that. But by the same token, as a newfound friend of this company, I'm be more than happy to go. I have talked to unhappy un, unhappy spirits to the point of them being haunting uh to to smooth over old hurts. So, if there's anything that any of us can do, I'm happy to volunteer myself.
I think it's probably best I speak to her myself when the time comes. But for now, well, this may have been a home to me as a child. I can't claim to know much or much about it now. It was a very different place then. Nor can I claim to really know anybody. So, um, any help you can be in tracking her down, that would be appreciated.
Well,
You're in
that
luck.
we can
We happen
surely.
to know the city well. Yeah. And we know a few people.
I'm
Speaking of which,
very
we should probably check in with the mayor.
And
Oh, she should be
while
great.
you folks check in with the mayor, I will do what I did the last time we were here and go to the Hall of the Tax Record. If you can give me a name, Cedric, uh, we'll see if your sister's not on a roll. That's how we found. Oh, good God, what's her name? The old the old lady who's now looking after the orphans.
Right.
Uh, um, oh,
Vivian,
starts with an L. Liliana.
Lillian.
Something like that. Damn it. Lorelei.
That's
Like
it.
it's a song by Styx that nobody here is old enough to remember. Yeah, Lorelei.
I resemble that remark.
Always looking for tax records for some reason. All right.
Oh, and her name is Adelinda.
Adelinda. Adelinda. Okay, sounds like we have a little divide and conquest going on here in Westruun. So, which team would like to start? Nobody wants to start. Okay, why don't we just roll a dice? This is a dice rolling game after all. So we've got team tax records. We got what are our teams? We got team tax record. We got who else?
So Arvolgan and Yvain are gonna go see the mayor and then at some point go see Esco, I think is what it sounds
Got
like.
team mayor. We got team tax record. Team mayor. Who else?
Hero, actually, if there's time and no one else needs her to do anything else, she is going to hit up the Temple of the Raven Queen just because it's Westruun. It feels like tradition.
Looking right. Fair enough.
Well, if you're going to drop that, get a get the briefing from Yvain before you go, because that's definitely a stop on the list, so we can perhaps pick off that particular piece all at the same time.
Yeah, we'll everyone can go whenever they want to go. Absolutely. Yeah.
Anybody else want to
Uh,
go look through dry and dull, boring tax records with me? Anyone? Of course not. I don't
I'm
blame you at all.
decidedly out.
Beverly's like, I want to meet the mayor.
I want to be the mayor.
I'll go with December.
Christ, you don't have to. That was a joke.
And just it feels neat. I don't like one of us being alone. I haven't been to before.
the, the last time that I had a problem with somebody here, they ran off after being very scared of fire. I'm
All right.
not worried about a back alley brawl.
Fair
Ember is
enough.
throwing hands in the back streets of Westruun now. We do know that. It's happened before.
The other guy started it.
Imagining this red mustached man just fucking duking it out in the back alleys. So great.
Old
I
timey
know, I was
fisticuff
thinking
style.
that too. Yes. Like, come on, old chap. Oh, incredible. Okay, we got a whole bunch of teams here. So we got a multi-pronged effort here from Team Mayor. There's multiple objectives over there, so why don't we get one of those out of the way? So you guys are going to the mayor's office. Everybody's following along, and yeah, you guys head on over. It will not be a great issue to find your way inside. You go over, Zarvolg, chest out, proudly, just yes, displaying the badge, and they're like, "Oh, welcome back, champions of Westruun, great defenders. I'm sure the mayor will be so happy to see you. Please, go right on in, right on in." And Yvain, you're like, "Look how far I've come. I can get thrown out immediately. Great." And yeah, you guys saunter on in, easy as can be. You do find the mayor's having some conversations with some boring delegates, and looks at you guys with a look of someone who's seen a ghost. Maybe you've hit this lady with the dream spell one too many times, and she's starting to look a little pale. But either way, the Goliath stands up, and she kind of shakes off and stands up and goes, Concordant, welcome back. It's good to see you all. Come on in. How fares your journeys? Defenders of Westruun, everybody. Bring out some food, bring out some wine.
I assume that things are well in Westruun.
Absolutely. Things couldn't be running better, actually. We, after, you've taken care of some pretty major problems around here, things have certainly calmed down a little bit. Very happy about that. But what of all of you? I'm sure you haven't just come here for a social call. You're always up to something, so please tell me, what is it I could do to help?
I think Zarvolg wants to brief you. He's been working closely with the Tal'Dorei Council over the last few months.
Oh, excellent. We receive scarce words from our delegations through letters, but such quick correspondence is most appreciated. Please tell me what's been going on.
Well, as it turns out, one of our primary reasons for being here is the social call, but that's a different member who's not with us currently. He's attending to that himself. In the meantime, it turns out that...
I'm going to pause you right there.
Yeah.
Somebody comes running in the moment and says, Lord Mayor, he goes, I'm in the middle of a meeting. I goes, I'm very sorry to interrupt, but this man, he had a badge of a defender of Westruun and an excellent mustache, was asking to look in the tax records. Should I let him in? And he goes, of course, let him in. He goes, all right. And that guy runs off. And the Lord Mayor goes, I'm so sorry for the interruption, Zarvolg. Please continue.
Yeah, another friend of ours. He's doing some behind-the-scenes work. Anyway, as I was saying, plights not unlike the ones that we experienced while we were here with you previously have been taking place all over various civilized areas of Tal'Dorei, and I'm sure that we can list them all for you. But it appears that there is a significant and widespread threat on the rise, as we had some indication of in this area, obviously. So we're currently making our rounds. We travel a little bit more quickly these days, and he kind of gives a bit of a side eye.
She looks a little like just maybe like a half an inch into her seat a little bit.
And so as we kind of try to determine where the pieces fall into place, because we had other secondary reasons to be here, we thought we would just stop by, check in, and make sure that things are all right in this region, at least.
Oh, that's very kind to say so. Well, we do have a couple of reports whenever it seems without our troubles. Yes, let me, she'll look around. And by the way, there's like 10 people in here of various stations and importance and whatnot. And she kind of looks around and she says, well, let's hand off the reports, everyone. And they begin to start feeding you some reports. They feed you a report that is not terribly surprising about Jorn Village basically falling into the ground, which has been reported to Council of Amon. They say they're being taken care of it. Refugees are currently in the midst of being relocated here to Westruun through the Black Valley Path. They would tell you that there is, there are some problems in the surrounding countryside. Let's see here. We have more missing children. I'm kidding. No, that's not true. Let's see here. What we got? I'm gonna go over to my super secret war map and see what all the fucking problems are in the vicinity.
This place is just like, are we in? This was the place that was not far from, what is it? Doomspire Mountain, is that right?
Gat Shadow.
Gat Shadow, right?
Yeah, it is none too far from Gat Shadow. That is true. You guys actually cleared the way. You took care of that Banshee, who was killing miners on the way to Murdoon Mines, which is at the base of Gat Shadow. I am officially sidetracked. Sorry. As one gets. I'm just going to change your visual here from Amon and roll 20, as we like to look at our visuals. So there's Westruun. But anyway, let's take a look around. Says we do know that the village of Trustfield, a little ways off, has been receiving some trouble from raiders, but we did make contact with a contingent of Daxio outriders who have headed in that direction. So hopefully that can take care of that. There have been reports of Ravagers still making their way around the dividing plains here and there. We've heard rumors of a particularly large warband forming, but they're heading east and then far from our jurisdiction. Like I said, we've been in contact with the Daxio Outriders. They've been very keeping things interesting here in the dividing plains. We have some concerns, raiders, so on and so forth, but nothing upstandingly out of hand. And considering your, the role you play with the Council of Tal'Dorei, I wouldn't wish to bother you with any of this.
Understandable, but you bring up something that piques my curiosity. I know that Westruun sits sort of in the middle of the plains area and in the middle of a relatively wild area. I've recently spent the past few weeks trying to convince the Tal'Dorei Council that the threat that those in the Singorn area face from the Iron Authority is significant enough to warrant some attention, but to no avail. So I've been considering putting together a small contingent of my own. I was wondering, and we'll be happy to check around, but if you know of any promising, let's call them outlander types, that might frequent the area, I'd be interested in speaking to them about the possibility of some mercenary work.
Okay, that's very interesting. No, we would be more than happy to help you with this. Tell you what, let me put some orders down to the shields. Put some feelers out for you. Give me a week, and I'll have some promising recruits put in front of you. Or adventurers, perhaps. I know what your types are. Adventurers, unique bunches. Give me a little time, and I'll see who I can put in front of you. Does that sound fair?
Very well. Thank you. We definitely appreciate the support It's been more than I've been finding to the west.
Well, glad we can keep a reputation of helpfulness. It's the least we can do, considering all you've done for the city. Yeah, and with that, you can sort of wrap up your meeting, and hands will be shaken, and hurrahs will be sung of your exploits. Maybe they invite you to lunch and tell tales of your exploits in the city of Westruun, how you saved it. The tales are recounted again. Yeah, let's head over to so Ember, you're sitting there. The guy comes running back, and he goes, "Oh yes, Mr. Van Zyl. No, I spoke to the Lord Mayor. You're of course most certainly welcome to look at the tax records. I apologize for the formality."
That's quite all right. I understand that everybody has a job that needs doing, and I greatly appreciate the job that you do, and I'm absolutely certain that you do not hear that often enough.
I was about to say, you'd be surprised the amount of adventurers we get in here and how angry they get when they're not allowed to look through the public tax records. I'm very appreciative of your kindness, sir. But anyway, let me take you down there. He will take you down there, and I think he would take you into any sort of like larger room. I think he would just take you to like sort of one of the administrator's offices, and they pull out a ledger of various citizens with various amounts that are due based on where they sit in sort of like the economical standings of things. So some people are required to pay taxes in copper, some in silver, some in gold, depending on how much wealth they possess. Yeah, they open the ledger to you and says, by all means, alphabetical order and such. It should have their addresses. It should have how much they are required to pay on a monthly basis. All kinds of details. Hopefully, it'll be useful to you.
And at that point, it's name looking.
All right, Drystrin, stand there and go, pick a nice chair, put up your feet, and nap, perhaps. Who knows? Or pick up a book and just punch it. I don't know. Whatever you would be want to do. I imagine it's very much like that time frame montage where Ember's just sitting at the book, flipping through the pages. The time goes on in the background. Drystrin's like sitting there bored, standing up, looking at a quill, putting it down, holding this glass thing, breaking it, looking around, tucking it under something, and just like this whole montage of Drystrin desperately trying to entertain themselves, but Ember making an investigation check to look through for. I believe you're looking for Adelinda's information.
Sure.
That
There's
is
no
exactly
guidance
what
on
we're
it.
doing.
Okay, yeah, Drystrin throws you a little guidance. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Should be a little helpful.
May the Stormboard bless you in the old looking through the tax records. It is a sort of competition. Kind of.
That'll total up to an 18.
18. Yeah, the Stormlord's up there is like, I don't know about this particular blessing, but whatever. We'll let it. It's a cantrip. It's fine. Yeah, 18 is more than enough. Who are you looking for? Just for Adelinda or anybody else?
Just Adelinda.
You flip to the A section. Your finger trails down to the section where the D's begin to appear, and as it is an A after the D, very quickly your finger traipses along and looks for an Adelinda. The unfortunate note is that there's 10 Adelindas living in Westruun, but only one of them has what's your last name there, my knightly friend?
Longwaffle.
Yes, there is an Adelinda Longwaffle seemingly living in the city. She isn't living in great conditions. She only pays coppers and taxes, but she's living in one of the more, not destitute, but certainly lower station housing. She probably doesn't have like a magnificent home, but she is a gnome after all and requires lesser space. So you do find an address, you do find her name, you do find the long waffle, and nothing tax records can't fix. It's the ultimate D&D hack when you're looking for someone on an urban basis.
Death and taxes. Those are the two things.
I guess so. I think it would be very funny if from here on out in the campaign, if you ever go looking for tax record, they'd be like, "It's on fire!" every single time. It's crazy the amount of fires breaking out in the administration. What's with all the fire hazards? No. But anyway, yeah, information received, Ember, and I imagine Cederic, you would you be with these guys trying to
Yeah.
find the address? Yeah, so you peek over the shoulder, Cederic, and you find uh your sister apparently has an address in the city. How easy would you're like, oh, it's gonna be so hard to find her. I have to go all the way through Westruun, talk to bars, and see where the hell she ended up. She might not even be in the city, but surprisingly, she seems to be living here in Westruun.
Yeah, I'll take advantage of Ember sitting to be actually be able to, pat him on the shoulder and thanks.
Nice.
I'm I'm happy that at once upon a time I came to this very spot looking for the woman of a deceased soldier and found that the uh the clerk's office here in Westruun is amazing at their jobs.
Well, you're both clever and resourceful. I thank you.
Uh, work in a tavern long enough, you deal with tax collectors. Whether they're
Alright.
official or not.
Sure.
Okay. Sweet.
If I may, Cedric, I will turn to the clerk and I will hand him 10 gold pieces. These are for the taxes for this woman here.
Oh, I see. I
Please,
suppose she'll be covered for the next couple of years. Very good. I'll make a note in the ledger.
thank you.
I don't know if you hear that, but he makes a note in the ledger. Very cool. Oh man, it was such a good sound. Oh well. But anyway, you got.
So
sorry, Cedric, go ahead.
on the way out of the building, I'll reach over and hand you 10 gold and say that was very kind.
You don't have to.
But I
The
will.
folks in, thank you.
Beverly very quietly is like,
So, would you like us, gesturing to the rest of us here, would you like us to accompany you and kind of loiter in case you need it?
Well, I mean, I certainly wouldn't want to keep you from if you have something else somewhere else to be.
I
And
have
wouldn't want
I
to
have
tell you where to be, but
I have nothing
certainly I
in
would go
particular.
in. Certainly, I think it's probably best if I approach on my own
That's
and
quite
see
all
if
right.
there's any hospitality to be had.
Yeah. I may wander in that same general direction and peek and see. The last time I was in some of the rougher precincts of Westruun, there was a uh, a competitor who I ran into, and perhaps he is returned.
I'm just looking for a fight. He misses those backstreet days. Amazing, amazing. Yeah, you guys can begin moving. Question for the party: does anybody have the alert feed?
Not I.
The alert. No.
No.
Okay. Okay. Just thought I'd ask. Probably not important. Hey, Kiro. What would you like to? You're heading over to the Temple of the Raven Queen, right? Okay. You head over in that direction. Let me just change the vibes super quick.
Uh-oh.
I love vibes. Fucking. Oh, and by the by, as you guys are heading out, it's about that time Zarvolk and Yvain come out, and you guys can all travel together since you're at the same place. It would make sense to do so. Where did I leave the goddamn temple of fucking Raven Queen? There it is. Ah, don't you hate it when you lose your temple of the Raven Queen?
I hate when that happens.
No, you lose a whole temple. Okay, I just have to make a quick check of something. And there's the Wild Barber. Change companies. Good. Last game. Observatory. Beautiful. Okay. And by the way, is the sound good? I can barely hear it, but can you guys hear it? Everything sounds good? Okay, cool. Nothing's too loud. You make your way over, Kiro. Out and about. Free. No one to hold you down. You make your way up to the spookiest temple in the whole city, and into the Raven Queen's temple indeed. It is in its usual state of mostly emptiness. Maybe there's like one or two people at prayer, maybe a little very quiet weeping from maybe one or two of them. And this is very much the vibe around here, as there are dark, cloaked, hooded figures. This is probably the most culty feeling of all of the religious centers, of all the churches. Black robes and hoods and sort of pale-looking figures underneath. You see the slightly more decorated grave seer hood on one of them, and you can approach the statue that bears the sigil of a great raven and the silhouette of a beautiful cloaked woman with a porcelain mask. You are in the Temple of the Raven Queen. Here it is where death is worshipped in all of its endings. What's going on?
Are there like benches or is it just open?
No, there's benches. There's absolutely like pews and benches to sit upon. Absolutely. You could go up to the altar and pray directly at it, or you could sit at a pew and pray there. Either would be fine.
She'll walk up to the altar and kind of look up at the Raven Queen statue, and she'll look at the mask for a second. And she'll kneel and kind of just say a little quick prayer to herself, and then kind of find a few off to the side away from crying people.
Fair enough. Let's hear that prayer. I, as the Raven Queen, would love to hear your prayer. Would love to.
Closer than I was last time. I think I understand why you laid the choice before me that you did. I'm working on it. But I think I see which direction to go in now.
Okay. Find a pew. Sit down. Take a moment.
This is really weird. I don't know, like above table, I don't know what sort of check this would be, but just because, like, since the Raven Queen and Galdrick and everything, she's just gonna kind of like take a second and take stock of herself and just see, like, because she's used to having a connection to Galdrick and now she's used to having a connection to the Raven Queen. She wants to see if it feels the same that it did before, like if it feels the same that it did when she made her pact with Galdrick, if she can feel things changing.
All right. Make me an insight check if this is about sort of innately feeling the power of your magic. I'll tell you what, it can either be an insight or arcana. It's your choice, whichever you'd prefer.
Insight.
Okay. I will make you a deal, though. You can use your charisma modifier instead of either, because that is where your pact comes from after all.
Okay. Uh, 16 altogether.
16 altogether. You prayed at the altar, and the pact of a warlock, it's very much like every spell, every feature, everything. It's a gift. You're not a everything that's upon you is there um because of another source. It isn't yours per se. It's not like a sorcerer where you feel your fingertips or whatever. Or a wizard where you understand the arithmetic of what you're capable of. It's very much like the relationship you hold, the true charismatic based relationship you hold with your partner. And you think about the Raven Queen, you think about the prayers you've held with your Raven Queen, the communion you've held with the Raven Queen, Goldric, and you very much are beginning to feel and understand that Goldric is a servant of the Raven Queen. He is powerful, and you're certain he's been made powerful by the Raven Queen. That he was, you don't know, he was either created by the Raven Queen, an entity created by the god of death, or maybe he was a wolf that was invested with the power of the Raven Queen, or perhaps far more likely, Goldric in a strange way is like some kind of woven priest or woven warlock of the Raven Queen herself. So really, when you think about it, you kind of already are a warlock of the Raven Queen, kind of just down the totem pole a little bit. Your direct patron being Goldric, but the power that he lends you is power he has received from the Raven. So your connection's already there. It's just a question of if you wish to connect directly with the Raven Queen, or if you wish to remain with Goldric through his filter of moonlight and celestial energy. Or, yeah, that's the question. One is certainly sort of getting to the root of the cause, and if a warlock's bond is based on charisma, on direct interaction, it's certainly powerful to have a personal relationship with a god. But at the same time, Goldric has his uses.
Okay.
It's clear which one's more powerful, however.
She'll sit. She'll sit and she'll think about that. And weirdly, I think her mind would flash back to the helm for a second, like in the midst of thinking about all of this. And just thinking about now that she has a clear understanding of who Goldric is and like thinking about where she falls in the order of things.
Mm-hmm. And thinking about the helm, I mean, it was presence to look upon it. It had it, and to know that it is but an armored accessory, that it is a fraction of the power of its wielder, and to know, to some degree, the Raven Queen is comparable to that power. That is what you need. It's certainly more than the Moonlit Wolf. There is a time where you will surpass Goldric if you continue down this path. You have grown greatly powerful as it is. Perhaps it's time to evolve. That's up to you.
Yeah. I think on a whim, not loud enough for anybody to hear, but just kind of to herself, because she talks to herself. I think seeing her family and sitting in the temple now, she just kind of like tilt her head off to the side and start talking like she would talk with her brother when they were younger, and just start honestly like talking to him probably for the first time since everything happened. And she just kind of say, I don't know what I'm doing. But neither did you. You didn't make it work. I don't want this to cost me what it cost you. I don't know how it won't. afternoon was always your day, wasn't it? I miss you. I think in her own weird way, Mom does too. As much as she misses anyone. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you would, but I'd just about kill for some advice from you right now. And she'll just sit there with that for a while. She'll probably lose track of time for a little bit.
Okay. Then why don't we, because it sounds like Yvain's heading here anyway, maybe that will be what sort of stirs the next events here at the temple as you sit in contemplation, thought and feeling for those who have come, those who have gone, those who are here, those who will no longer be here. And we will come to that surely enough. But let's take a. I think this is a good pause. Let's take a break as the parties. Really quick before we go though, Yvain, would you join the Cederic expedition, or do you want to like tail off and head over to the temple? Because it sounds like that's somewhere you wanted to go.
I think the next place that she wanted to go was to see Esco.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and we'll handle that after the break. Cool. Just wanted to know what the agenda was. Cool. Very cool. We'll be back in like 10, 15-ish minutes. Cool. Good. Swell. Okay, here's where things get interesting. Oh shit, the Lord's Mayor. Yeah. Okay, here's what happens. You guys head into the city. You make your way into the residential ward, fairly deep into the residential ward. And you go looking for the house in question. And Cederic, you find yourself quickly enough. The party sounds like holds back maybe like half a block or something like that. And yeah, you find yourself standing outside of this little hovel. Not unusually sized. It's sort of reassuring to see that you are in front of something that's a little gnome-sized, explaining why, the prices aren't so high on the taxes here. It's a little... it's not the best place to stay. Certainly not the best residential area. Like, it's very modest. It's not squalid. You're not like sitting. You're not like has holes in the roof or anything, but it's very modest. Probably is meant only for like a single individual to live in, really. Maybe 2, maybe 3, no more than that. Maybe not what you were expecting, considering. But here it is, and this is the address that you've been directed to.
I've been less scared of dragons. Okay. And I will walk up and just knock
on the door. On the door, nothing. No, nobody comes to the door immediately. Not a very big house. Probably like 1 to 3 rooms in there. It's taking a long time. Knock again?
Yep.
Again? No, nothing. You hear somebody speak. You hear, it's probably this like older gentleman. He's got gray hair. He's got a stick. He's a human. He says, "Excuse me, sir. Are you looking to speak with my neighbor?"
I believe I am. Yes.
Oh, well, today's Edelinda's day in the market. If you're looking for her, she probably went to the market.
Oh. Which market?
In the market ward. It's on the other side of the city. She probably won't be back until this evening. It's a bit of a hike. That's why we all pick a day of the week to go. It's kind of the trend, But yeah, she'll be back sometime this evening, or you can go try and find her in the market ward. Whatever you want.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, sure. Yes. Blessings of the Dawnfather upon you, sir.
And you.
Well, thank you. Bye now. And he goes inside his house.
All right, cursing fluently in Gnomish.
Wonder what that sounds like. I'm sure it sounds very funny. Hang on. Yeah, the only Gnomish word the party's really getting accustomed to are the curse words that sound by the sounds of things. But yeah, so what's the plan, Cederic? You gonna head over to the market ward, or are you gonna wait here for her?
Well, if she's working, I don't want to cause a scene for her there. So I will settle down, take a seat next to the door, and I'll say to everyone, it looks like it may be a wait.
I was about to say, because told him to hold back. Thanks. You like look down the street, you're like, oh yeah, they're here with me. And you look down the street and you see just like just around the corner, like 2 doors down, you probably see the heads of the party members Scooby Dooing on the side, definitely minding their business.
Looks like it's going to be a bit of a wait for her to get back. She's out of work or the market or something. So I think the thing to do is for me to just set a spell and wait.
Well, if that's what you want. I know where the market is. I've shopped there before.
Yeah, I don't know if she's doing her business or whatever, and you don't want to ambush somebody at work. So I think the thing for me to do is just set a spell and wait for her to get back.
If that's what you want. Is there any tasking around here that we can do to provide a pleasant surprise and welcome home?
She's not one. When I'd return home on the occasions I did with a gift in hand, let's just say they were more likely to be thrown back in my face than accepted with enthusiasm. So
We should bring pie, is what you're saying.
what I'm saying is she's not one for gesture. She's, yeah. I don't think there's going to be any substitute for actual groveling. So,
I see.
Yeah.
Well, we can go and try to find you a pillow that may make your knees somewhat more comfortable. I understand that groveling does cause a degree of knee pain.
Between half my life spent sleeping in caves and battlefields and stuff like that, this isn't so bad.
Ah, I can understand and respect that. It not to pry, but well, actually to pry. That's exactly what I mean to do. I'm a bartender by vocation, so
Or at least by genetics, sure.
uh what's the nature of this? I mean, you've said that she wanted you to stay, but you couldn't stay, and I can certainly understand a need to go and do things, as is evidence. But what was the nature of your to do and her need to have you stay? I mean, if it's not being
It's no big story. After this place was mostly leveled between the dragon and the Goliath and the whatever, my father gathered what money he had and sent us off to live with a cousin, a distant cousin, long way away across the sea. And we were all each other had, and we were young. And that's the way it was for a few years. But once she was old enough, I felt she could fend for herself. I gave in to my need to find him something else to do with my life. And that's what I did. And as the years dragged on, I made it home less and less. And just when I was feeling it was time for an end of battle and violence and excitement, and found my way home again after a long while, he was gone. No big tale. Just you can only make one choice at a time, you know?
absolutely, I can understand the travails of the road not traveled. Uh, that's the nature of choice, and I'm beginning to understand the nature of change, is that there's always a cost. You give a degree of forbearance whenever you make a choice to do or not to do. Uh, the other side of that choice is usually left unexplored, and the best you can do is to make the choices that you will hopefully regret the least.
And those I spent the last many years with I've lost a couple. And most of the rest are not as young as they used to be. Another consequence of choices. You choose to spend your days with people who age differently than you. Sooner or later, that there's a price to pay.
Yes, there certainly can be.
So that's all there is. I wish it was something flashier, more dramatic that I could a wrong I could right, but unfortunately, it's just 20 years of 20 years.
And do you have any idea how she came back to Westruun from that far, far flung space? That sounds like that must have been a journey in and of itself.
Yeah, my understanding she's been back. She's been back a while. Like I said, I returned to the house, and she wasn't the one living there anymore. And I asked around a bit, and the folks I could find who I remembered, told me where she'd gone.
Well, at least we are able to codify that she made that journey apparently safe and sound if she's entertaining a market day.
Yeah, I'm relieved to find that she's as well, and to have found her so quickly is I'm indebted. You can imagine the many anxieties that accompanied me on this trip. So
Indeed. Well, I don't want to crowd what is going to be a family space. We should find something to occupy us. I think the others are probably.
Sorry, yeah, we'll swing around here. You guys are like, all right, I'm gonna find something to do. Rock, paper, scissors, whatever. Or buy a deck of cards or something. I want to hit Yvain. So Yvain, you make your way out of the city and come to Tower of Good Eskull.
I'm there too.
Oh, you're there too. You're there too. How can I be so silly?
Bevan's Volga with me as well.
Awesome.
I'm gonna tell
So yeah, you guys head over. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So I don't remember if you remember Eskull, Bev, but in case you don't, even though he looks about Ember's age, he's like 3,700 years old, and he's very
3,700 years
it's
old.
Crazy. Like apparently he remembers the calamity and everything. Look, the point is
what?
Yeah, the point is
that's incredible.
So incredibly crotchety. Like he's the grumpy. You know how grumpy Zarvolg is. He's got nothing on his skull.
She says that she looks incredible.
It's not nice to lie.
Yes. She said.
And then she'll look at Zarvolg. You know you're grumpy, right? You are aware? You
intentionally so.
There, see?
Oh, okay. Cool.
So anyway, trouble. If he's mean to you, you've two choices. Ignore it, or, smart off to him. Do be careful though, because he is like a master wizard, and I guess he could turn us all into toads. I don't know.
If he's
He is a bit
3,700 years old, he's like basically like a demigod, right?
All right, so I may have been exaggerating on the age, but seriously, like when we first met him, he was like practically the crypt keeper, and now he's like, he looks like me. He's Miss Emma's age.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like we don't know how it happened.
Yeah, he just
He's
looked
just
good. He's surprisingly kind. He to consider saying something. Her eyes wandered to Zarkog, and she doesn't say whatever it is that she was thinking of saying. No, he just he looks like he looks like a handsome guy.
yeah, he's just despite the fact that he looks that way, he absolutely acts like a crotchety old man. So just
That
keep
explains
that
a
in
lot,
mind.
actually, about his behavior. Zarkog, are you like super old too?
No,
You have
that's
like a similar thing
apparently
going on?
that's apparently only a thing that the weird human mages do to themselves. I've never heard of a hobgoblin trying to make themselves any older. Why would anybody want to be here any longer than they have to be? It doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's
Yeah,
breakfast.
that sounds terrible. You're
All
right.
right, let's go see. Let's go. Let's go see the crotchety
Yeah.
old man who looks like he could be my younger brother. Knock, knock, knock.
All right, knock, knock, knock. You knock on the door, and you are going to find the door is opened by Jekt, of course, who opens
Yes.
the door, and he says, "Oh, goodness me! If it isn't the Aurora Concordant come to call, welcome."
Yeah. Hello, Jack. Nice to see you again. Is Eskel available?
Master Realmseer indeed. Please come inside. I'm sure he'll be amenable to seeing you. As you know, Master Eskel struggles with the more light side of the personality spectrum. Right this way. And Jekt will show you inside. Once more, you find yourself in the sprawling library study with beautiful like red velvet chairs, not cake, but like a proper chair, like it's like lined in nice red velvet. And it's in front of a beautiful fireplace with a glass and like a little brandy cart off to the side. Very cozy. It says, make yourself comfortable. I'll be just a moment. And he will ascend the spiraling staircase that leads up into the tower. And you guys make yourselves comfortable. You grab a seat at the fire, maybe peruse the spines of the books. And like any ancient library, they don't have their names usually on the spine, but it is a sprawling labyrinthian of arcanist works. And coming down the stairs, you see the very handsome and not at all old Realmseer Eskel Ritterin, who comes down looking very pleased with himself in a nice red cloak with gold trim. He's got his not wizard staff, of course, but stick, sort of like to show his prominence. The cravat. I'm learning the word. Coming through, and just this handsome, youthful, very well put together gentleman comes downstairs and says, "Oh, welcome. It's all of you. It's been some time. Yes, I've received some letters from the Master of Arcane. Please tell her I, of course, mean to respond in due time next time you see her. At the very least that I read them. So, what is it that you're doing here?"
Well, I could
Master
manage
Eskel.
it.
Oh, yes. Zog. Zorvolg. Yes. Good to see you again, Master Zorvolg. How's crossbowing?
Crossbowing. Actually, I find it keeps me young and spry. Seems you might have been doing some crossbowing of your own recently.
Not at all, my dear hobgoblin. Not at all.
No.
Yes. And you,
Are-
yes, with the pink half elf, you are Yuri.
I'm the one you told Allura was one of the most intuitive spellcasters of my generation, I think is what you said.
Oh, yes, I did say that.
You did.
His eyes maybe slightly wander in Jack's direction.
And
I was,
you are
yes, of course I
lovely.
did.
You're vain.
Yes. I recall it was a fine piece of penmanship. I definitely did.
Oh, yeah, right. After we saved your bacon, you even said I could read a couple of books in your library, and we happened to be in town, so I brought you something. It's rather unique. There are very few people who would appreciate it.
All right, let's take a look.
So she actually puts gloves on and brings out a vial of blood that's like it's been sealed very carefully, and I'm like, it's poisonous, don't touch it.
Oh, gross.
So I know, right? I don't know if you're familiar with the Visa Isles and the charming uses of transmutation, where they turn humans into snake people who are trying to destroy their god and eat the universe.
Oh,
It's
you don't say.
I know, it's charming. Anyway, while I was skinning one of their leaders, I noticed that their blood has enormous potential, transmutative potential, but my skill with transmutation is not. I'm limited. I can't do what you do.
Of course not, my dear. Well, I actually happen to be quite familiar with the cloaked serpent. I was reading a volume about certain. I won't go into it. I have indeed some understanding of the unique religious transmutative rites performed by the ancient. What do they call them? The Voscaris Empire, I believe it was. But you say this is the blood of one of them?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do with it?
Well, apparently, that is the vessel of their transmutative powers. I don't know if there's a way that their transmutation can be undone, or if it could be weaponized, or if it even interests you, but you like puzzles.
I do like puzzles.
And blood as a puzzle is pretty good. And there's like no one else in the world who might be able to figure it out.
Yeah, make a flattering check, make a persuasion check. I'll say take advantage because you are definitely barking up his tree. Hello, cat. Yes, I know.
Okay. Let me roll my wheel or woe to see what I get today. So that is a 14. Oh, sweet. That never happens. That's a 16. So 14 plus 5, 19.
19. Very well. I'm not really a observer of religious rites, but I do have certain colleagues, associates in Vasselheim I could perhaps reach out to. I do not usually like the arcane's powers there, but well, I grew bored of politics long ago. Regardless, yes, leave it on the mantle there. I'll be most interested to learn of these particular rites. It'll be quite a fancy for me.
Well, that was my business with you. I'll get other reasons, and she'll take it to Jekt and just be like, make sure she'll take gloves off and it's poison. Be careful. Yeah.
He takes it and overly cautiously ascends the stairs with it, and Eskel's put it. Yes, put it on my desk. Yes, next to the Codex Transmutatorus. Yes, very good. Oh yes, Mr. Zorval, you wanted something.
Yes, well, we didn't come to Westruun specifically to see you, but since we were here, we've come across um, some interesting and puzzling information in our travels since last we met. And a few of us have the perspective and um, experience, the experience lens to look through that you have. So if you don't mind sparing us just a few minutes, Yvain um, could maybe divulge the details of some of the things that we've run into across the continent. If you would just mind absorbing them for a moment and see if anything pops out at you as being uh, terribly obvious or particularly interesting, that sort of thing.
Oh, yes, I would love to entertain your particular mental struggles, Zarvo. But I have my 3 o'clock coming. Yes, check. Yes, Master, Realm Seeker Esco, it's 4 o'clock. Yes, he kind of looks at Eskel and like glares at Eskel. Kind of glares at Jack with a look of like you throw me under the bus a little here, sir. And he glares at him and he goes, "Oh yes, how I lost track of time. They must have not shown up or something." Very well. What is it, that vexes you, Zarvo? I'm sure it won't take minutes to figure it out.
Maybe would you mind relating to you've been more familiar with it than I have to Master Eskel, the details of the champions and the rise of the betrayer gods and all of that good stuff.
Oh, fucking what?
I'll tell you what, I will have the appropriate report written and sent to you so that you can ignore it, and Allura will tell you what's important. I would love to take your time, but I can tell by the look on your face that you're going to ignore us.
No. This actually piques my fancy.
Really?
You don't want to mess around with the arcane philosophical old politics and limitations. It'll take weeks before they even consider it. You should give it right. You should just tell me what's going on, and I can expedite the process for you with my arcane knowledge.
That's very helpful of you.
You guys
All
don't
right.
spread it around or anything. People
Never.
come onto my doorstep. Anyway, so
Well,
yes, what is this about Betrayers Rising?
I'm sorry, what rising?
Oh, just
You blinked out.
bring it on.
Oh yeah.
What is this?
So there are a number of individuals who've associated themselves or identified themselves with the betrayer gods, and they go around digging up vestiges of divergence in the hopes of, I guess, bringing about some sort of unholy war and subjugating us all.
Why haven't I heard of? Why have I not heard about this? What is it?
I don't.
Jack, did somebody send me a letter about this? Jack, no, Realms here. Esco, no one has sent any letters about betrayer, champions, and vestiges. At least not recently. No. And Jack goes,
get one about 6 weeks ago.
Why did you send one 6 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Oh, because he looks at Jack and Jack goes, no, Realms here, Esco. You see, Master, this is what happens when you leave an organization. They stop keeping you in the loop. And Realms here, Esco goes, I know, checked. Write me all the time, keep up the interesting bits. So, please, since you are far more informative than my former colleagues, please let me know what's going on.
Yeah, so she will read him in about the vestiges that they're tracking down and the betrayer champions who've been kind of a huge pain in the ass, and give him the details that she knows of the rite that the snake champion's going to try to perform down somewhere in the south that they're stopping. And oh shit, that might be the first our folks hearing of that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, we were busy while you were in the capital. So anyway, that's what we're doing immediately. immediately. We got a ship chasing down the champion. Once the champion is located, we're going to kill him and put his vestige someplace where another champion of the betrayers can't get it and try to use it on us.
How annoying. They didn't tell me about all of this. How interesting. They know I would have helped, right, Checked? Of course, Master. Of course they would have. Because anyway, well, it's good you've told me. So you want me to disseminate the nature of the transmutative power of this cloaked serpent cult to make your job easier tracking down this champion? Is that what you're hoping for?
You'll be grateful for any assistance.
Yeah, I don't know that the two necessarily need to be related. I was kind of more asking for your, whatever thoughts that you might have, and the blood was sort of a loosely tied coincidence.
I came here specifically to give you the blood because I haven't been able to get a good answer from anyone.
Blood's very interesting. I will have you an answer. I am, after all, Monsieur Redorin. A great store of knowledge that many fail to adhere to. But you have not. You have wisely come here and asked for my opinion, and so I shall give it when I have in due time. Just cancel my date tonight. I will be doing research. Jack said, yes, Master. Because, of course, you think I'm going to look this good and not, strut it around town? I happen to, I'll have you know, I am one of the more eligible bachelors in Westruun.
I should think so.
Yes, all the ladies, all the young maidens are all up in arms about Eskel. Anyway, I shall conduct some research tonight. Far more important things have come up than the dalliances of young ladies. As for you, Master Zarvolg, I would recommend eating more fruit and vegetables. Very good for the mind's development. Might help you, how do I say this fairly lightly? Keeping up with the rest of us, yes? Very well. Good evening. Off you go. I have things to do now. And let me know if you learn anything else, because it interests me. Conject, I need your assistance. Yes, Master. Allow me to see the guests out. He goes, why? They know where the door is. Yes, I'll be right there, Master. And Eskel, with his fancy staff, walks up the stairs and struts his shit. He looks pleased with himself to have a research opportunity. And Jack says, excellent. You seem to have hooked him up. Thank you very much. Well, have an excellent day, and as always, I apologize for the Master.
I find him delightful.
We thank you for your hospitality, as always, Jack. Have a wonderful day.
You as well, Master Zolvolg. Mistress Yvain, and he will close the door. We're going to travel over to Kiro. Kiro. Feel a tremor. You're sitting there in the pew, thinking, praying to this red god. Feel a shake under your foot. You're like, oh, that was weird. Feel a slightly bigger shake. Nothing that sends you flying or anything off the shelves. It's just like a little tremor under your feet, and you very much detect. That's weird. And you hear sounds outside. Very, very distant. You're like, your head kind of turns, and it sounds like a murmur kind of grows into distress. It's further up. It's clearly whatever has happened, it's happened rather some ways away, but nonetheless, it's happened.
She'll get up and look up at the Raven Queen and just kind of nod her head, still trying to be respectful, but she'll get up and start walking out of the temple. Standing on the street, can she tell which direction whatever she heard came from?
Make a perception check.
19.
You do. There's no more tremors. There was like one little one, and then a bigger one that kind of lasted for a couple of seconds, like maybe like 12 seconds to 15 seconds, something like that. And then there was the sound that sort of grew, and you come out and you can definitely hear the direction of where the distress is coming from. And it seems to be kind of getting louder and spreading a little bit. Like, you definitely could, like, begin to start moving in that direction, sort of closing in on whatever the hell's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. You make your way through the streets of the Temple Ward, making your way. You're going in. You're looking around. Eventually, you start to see like a handful of people, maybe like 3 people, turn a corner, running, just running, and screaming. And then you see this 4th one, and it's this woman. She sort of runs out from, you start making your way in that direction, obviously. And this woman kind of comes around from the corner, and you see this skinny, bare-chested man, pale, wearing like thick leather armor, like really like patchwork leather armor, with a dagger in one hand, like jump through the air like fucking Gollum or something, and jump on top of the screaming woman, and start like grabbing her, sort of like it's like sneering in her face, and starts like grabs her by the hair, starts dragging her. What do you do?
Striding out, she's gonna two-handed, like, take the face of the trident and try to hit whatever it is off of her and up into the air and away.
Make me an attack roll. You huck that fucking trident.
An 18.
Easy. Roll me damage.
Uh, 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. We're gonna be a little fun and narrative about this. Your trident, because you're trying to get it off her, it seems to be the primary goal. You throw it as hard as you can, and the prongs kind of like catch him around the neck. So he kind of like kind of gets hit that way. One of the prongs does end up in his shoulder, and that's where the damage is.
He also has to make a con save DC 16.
He fails.
He's not prone.
Okay, perfect. So you hit him with this trident, and you hit him, and your throw comes with such force that he is knocked off of the woman and prone, as the trident is like deeply embedded in his shoulder and like in his throat, and he's just like scrambling on the ground, like, ah! But he like, just for a moment, the woman sort of stands up, kind of horror movie-esque, kind of scrambling to get up and get away, and this guy stands up with the trident still in his throat, bleeding from both sides, and kind of, and he starts running at you like a fucking zombie. He's like, but he's bleeding profusely, like he's in a lot of pain. Somehow he's running at you. He's got like 1 or 2 hit points or some shit.
She's gonna dismiss the trident because that's a free action, and then summon it again in her hands as a bonus action, and she'll just, again, two-handed, because I really want this thing to die real fast. She's just gonna kind of thrust the trident forward and just try to go straight through him.
Okay, so here's what's gonna happen then. Yeah, as he's kind of like, because his neck is held in place with his arm because of the trident, he's kind of like stiffly running at you. As it disappears, there's this huge, like, as the wound is open so the blood can get out, blood just pours out of his neck and comes into your hand. You kind of take the sort of lancer stance, like you're meeting down a charge, and the guy starts to, you'd see the blood loss is taken him, and he kind of starts to stumble towards you, and he just kind of clumsily falls forward, and no attack roll necessary. You just jut the trident and take him to the ground, pull it out, and he's dead. It's not over, though. You hear more screams coming from the direction in which everybody was running from. You keep going?
Yeah.
Okay. You keep going. You run over. Eventually, the screams are getting louder, that are beginning to be mingled with the sound of swords and shields. The sound of calling, sort of, look down that street! I want a containment zone here! shields to the wall, and you come down the street and you see like definitely a larger concentration. There's a point where you're actually like bombarded by people running past you, and you're like trying to get through the flow of like not rioting, but like running people away as they like are battering into you, and it's all you can do to like stand in place. You're at like half speed as these people are running by you, and you're like, make way, and you're moving through as fast as you can, until you like get past the initial swarm, and you see this force of similar individuals. These like twisted looking fucking dudes. They're armed with like makeshift weapons. Occasionally, some of them actually have proper weapons, like short swords or what have you. They are wearing patchwork leather. They're all very, very pale, a little emaciated. They're covered in scars. Some of those scars, now that you're here closely seeing them, look very intentional, like to make symbols on their body. You don't know what they are at the moment. It's not important right now. But you do see them clashing with the Westruun guards, the shields. And beyond them, you see the, what do we call it here? It is called the, for fuck's sake, what's that? Oh, the first bastion. You see the holy place of Erathis, the lawbearer, and you see these fucking crazy people dragging citizens up the steps into the temple. And you see the Westruun guard like trying to batter through them to like get to the first bastion. What do you do?
How far away is the line of shields from where I am now?
I will say 30 feet. Like you could run in and get right into the mix if you wanted to. We're being a little narrative about this.
Still, and okay, I'm sorry. So it's the shield and the things are trying to get through the shields, or the people are trying to get to the temple behind them?
Yeah. So here, let me demonstrate it for you on Roll20, just like very, very vaguely for you here. So let's get rid of all. Or we got a temple over here. Let's use it. So okay, here we go. So Kiro, you are standing right here. This is why we do this, so we can illustrate a little bit. So Kiro, you're right here. We've got crazy cult boys. Give me some cultists. You got cultists over here who are like battling the shield dudes. This is a very sort of light example. And then you have more culty people making their way into the first bastion with civilians, kind of dragging them there, kicking and screaming. Sure, we'll use these guys. So he's prone, we'll say. This is kind of your situation. They're being dragged in, and then there's the guards who are battling. Yeah, so then there's the shields over here battling with the cultists. So oh, go ahead, please.
Oh, I was gonna say she's gonna run towards the temple because it looks like there are civilians. She's gonna take her 30 feet, and then at the end of her 30 feet, she's gonna cast Thunderstep. It gets her farther. It gets her 90 feet closer to like the steps of the temple, or however far into the temple she can see.
Got it. And it hurts the people from your disappearing point as opposed to arrival point, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's bring it down to like a tactical thing. Make me a low DC per. Let's call it an athletics check to like run into the right position to sound this off with the most effect.
Um, 15 plus 8 is a 23.
Beautiful. Easily enough, you just like put your shoulder down and you just fucking like body past one of these like culty dudes and just like run right into the middle of it. But before any blades can like fully be turned on you, you just scatter this thunderous power. You don't see it because, you know, you're kind of doing a thunder run here, but you do hear the sort of like And the sounds of like people bodies flying through the air that you've left behind, and now we're on the temple steps. You see them like still like one of them like lets go of their person who gets up and runs, and that guy kind of like runs at you. I'll give him a little attack roll here. He rolls exceptionally. He rolls a 25. But he's got like a yeah. So he's got like the serrated looking gnarly short sword. It looks like he took a stone and kind of punched out pieces of the sword to make it as jagged as possible, whether that actually makes it better or not. And you are going to take 8 damage as he sort of slashes you with the serrated edge. And it fucking hurts. If there's anything the blade does, it's not more effective than it would have normally been, but it sure as shit hurts more. What do you do?
My turn. She'll aim for him. Is there anybody close? Like, is there another cultist or anybody that's close to her aside from him, or is it just him?
No, I'm gonna say that like this guy got up and run. So he's like, "Fuck this!" As this guy let go, and then he ran over to you, while these guys like, I'll say like 2 out of 3 of them have like fully backed into the doors at this point. And this guy's almost there now. So there seems to be a priority in taking people for whatever reason.
She's gonna. I'll come back for you later. She's gonna try to get into the temple. Does it look like they're closing the doors?
No, the doors are open.
But there are people that are already inside the temple.
Yeah, you hear like the screaming, kicking, and like that, like weird, like ghoulish cultist sounds from inside. For whatever reason, they're dragging him in there.
They're not from the inside out. She's gonna take her full movement. It's 30, and then she'll dash if she has to, just to kind of get into the temple and at least see what's happening.
Got it. This guy swings an opportunity attack on you, and you bring your trident around and ching, bounces off the haft. He misses the opportunity attack. You run through as fast as you can. Do you want to deal with this guy, or are you just going right through? You want to see what's happening?
I'm going through.
Okay, you run right through. You get right into the doorway. You run a little past this guy, who I'm going to say has let go of their person as well, and that person's just going to like, died. And this guy's going to try and deal with you next. But you put your eyes on the interior, and that's the important part. You look inside the first bastion. It is like, it's a beautiful space, cathedral-esque marble, blah, 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 blah. What's important right now is there is a massive sinkhole right in the middle of the first bastion space. This is like a big cathedral. This is probably the biggest this is probably the biggest temple in the city. So it's pretty grand. It's got that sort of basilica interior where it's like a lot of wide open space, right? And it's got this big sinkhole right in the middle, and you do see cultists dragging people down into the hole. On a couple of occasions, you see them like fully throwing them in and jumping in after. And that seems to be where they're all converging upon, and that seems to be their purpose. They want to get into that sinkhole and bring people with them.
Okay. He's gonna switch gears just a tad. She's gonna. She's gonna pop her familiar ghost. Yes.
I'm just going to give you one quick other detail. Past the sinkhole, sort of standing toward the altar, clearly like a little overwhelmed, is who you expect to be the high priest. You see this cleric who's just firing bolts of radiant energy and spiritual guardians around him and yelling at the top of his lungs. He's like unable to move with as much freedom as you, but it looks like he's not having trouble dealing with the cultists who are trying to attack him. And he's screaming like, "In the name of how dare you defile this holy place!" But you do see this high priest at the back just firing bolts of vengeful light. But anyway, please continue. Sorry.
It's good to know. Seems fine for the moment. She's gonna pop her familiar out, and she's gonna send him. He's gonna go further than she can see, but she's gonna send him with the instructions, "Find Bev."
And off it goes, fast as can be.
priest. She's gonna try. Actually, how many cultists are near where she is now? Because this might not make sense.
I'm just gonna roll a little dice for it. You've got the guy behind you, and you see two people between you and the sinkhole who have not quite gotten in there yet.
She's gonna start trying to push through people, trying to get closer to the sinkhole and closer to the priest if she can.
Got it. I'm gonna say the guy behind you. He runs up to you and he takes a slash at you. It misses entirely. He does slash you, but like it's a direct hit to the armor, so it's just this ching. You're like, oh, well, whatever. And you keep running forward. He'll take the opportunity. And again, he swings wildly. Misses. You make your way forward. These two guys, like the one guy, like they both see you coming. Yeah, I'll say they release. Yeah, they release their prisoners, and the prisoners just kind of run to safety somewhere in this temple. And they both are like lick their blades, and you see blood drip off their tongue, and they get ready to fight you.
That's disgusting. And if she has to attack, she'll do one on each of them, just to test and see how these guys compare to outside.
Got it. Yeah, make me 2 attack rolls.
All right, one is a 19. The other one is a 16.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna hit. We're just gonna make it a cool, like, narrative little fight scene here, where, like, the one guy's, like, runs up and he goes, with this, like, longer scimitar-like blade. You just catch it between the prongs of your weapon and use a trident for what it's meant to be used for, and you twist the trident, snap his blade, and then rock him in the face with the half end. The other guy runs at you, and you, like, poke him in the face, swing the trident around, and gouge him right in the center. The guy tries to get you from behind. You, like, kick him in the back leg, pull out your trident, swing it around, and just, like, stab behind you, almost samurai style, killing both of them. They were no match for you and your martial skill. And on the other end, you pull out your trident, look around, and you do see the priest says, "In the name of Erathis, be judged!" And these pillars of radiant flame will burst out in the place of these 3 remaining who go fall to the ground screaming in radiant fire. And it looks like the place is clear. It looks like there's no more bad guys in the temple. As you look over your shoulder, you do see the shields of Westruun cleaning up the last of the bad guys there. And you kind of have this adrenaline moment where you're like, okay, we're good. Bad guys are dealt with, at least in this vicinity. The priest will look across to you and say, "Are there more coming, my child?"
She'll look outside. I don't think so. Not at the moment, anyway.
He'll nod, and similarly, like, kind of come down from the fight of the moment. He'll walk forward with his big sort of priestly staff and look into the tunnel. He will twist his hand, and a number of, like, lights will appear above his head, and he'll kind of send them down into the tunnel. And you look over the edge too, and it's like bottomless. The 4 little, like, light spheres just descend into the tunnel and descend until they vanish. No sign of the bottom. And this high priest goes, how could this have happened?
What did happen?
He looks at you and says, "It was just a normal day. We were at prayer, and we heard these tremors. The whole temple shook. We were confused, and then there was another great one, and the ground just sank out from beneath us. Some of my priests and some of the petitioners here fell right into the hole, and then these maniacs came coming out in dozens of them, running out into the streets. Some of them came and attacked me. I told my flock to get to safety, and then you showed up not long after, and, well, here we are."
The tremors were the only thing that happened beforehand. No, you didn't see anything?
"I did not see anything, my child. I was just holding mass, and the ground shook beneath our feet. Candle stands and relics and such toppled over. we thought it was nothing, and then a much, much larger one came and split the ground open.
Well, I'm glad you're okay, and you saved a lot of people outside, that's for sure.
They took many into the darkness, though. More than is acceptable, though one soul wouldn't be enough to be considered acceptable.
Part of me
He
wants
looks at
to find
you.
out part of me wants to find out where that goes. But I'd recommend that if you have somewhere else to stay for now, you do.
I need to make sure, I need to take stock of who of my priesthood are still right, but what is your name, warrior?
Hero.
Hero. Well, for what it's worth, be welcome here in the First Bastion. You wouldn't by chance know similarly capable and brave warriors.
Actually, I would. And we're looking for something to do.
He comes around the tunnel and he puts a hand on your shoulder and he says, "Then, my child, in the name of Erathis, find them, come back. I will provide whatever reward you seek, but we must not let the people of Westruun fall to darkness. Not even one, not even the many that fell. Please, find your heroes, come quickly. Time is of the essence."
I will. And she'll start heading out of the temple just to kind of genuinely to make sure that they are all gone.
Got it. Yeah, you head out of the he leaves the temple as well. It seems like most people who escaped left the temple, so he comes out, and certain people come up to this high priest and be like, "High Priest Helmdoth!" And he goes, "It's all right, my child. I am fine, but we're doing what we can." The guard comes up to him, and he seems to be a very important part of things here. And you kind of notice the fighting has stopped. You maybe overhear the guard captain say, like, "As far as we know, the cultists have been weighed low, but I've sent dispatches into the city to try and round up any who have been who may have gotten us slipped away. We did take a prisoner, who we can question. We're taking them to the manor. The Lord Mayor's residence will hold him in their dungeons. We will question him." The High Priest says, "Captain, it's of the utmost urgency." And, the conversations go on, and you run off into the city to go find your friends. You run. You don't know where your friends were going, but you can probably guess. There are 4 districts in the city. There's 5 districts in the city, and they're looking for a gnome lady. Chances are they're in the residential ward. I think it would be perfectly fair train of logic to run to the residential ward, and so perhaps you do.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Yvain, Zarvolg, and Beverly step outside. What does your bird look like again? Remind me? It's a raven, right?
Yeah, he's a raven. He has recently he has like little white head feathers. They actually kind of they look like a skull on like his head and his face, but I think that's the only thing.
Got it. Meanwhile, outside the city, you guys are walking out, and this black bird flies over and like lands on Beverly's head. Just, oh wow, nobody moved. And then it like pecks her head, she's like, and it like jumps down onto the ground, kind of at her, and goes, "Oh, this is Kiro's bird." And it starts hopping around in a circle, going, freaking out basically, and flutters and goes, "Oh, doesn't look good."
We're gonna follow.
All right, you guys follow, and the bird leads with haste. It's very much like it sort of flies forward, and if you guys aren't going fast enough, it definitely like flies back and like right in your face, and then keeps going, very much like, come on! And you guys find yourself very quickly picking up the pace. Kiro, make me I want you to just roll me a luck. This is about luck, man. The residential ward is fucking huge. Just roll me a flat d20. Let's see if you bump into the party.
An 8.
8. You run around, you're looking, you're like, have you seen this man? And you show it's just literally a stick figure with a mustache. And they're like, "Oh, that way." The man with the fabulous mustache, right that way. You're like, "Thank you, citizen. And you go charging off, and it takes a little longer than you might have liked, Kiro, but you do. You guys are all sitting around, Westruun, Cederic, Ember, chatting, chilling. And Kiro, like fucking anime, like comes around the corner, heels screeching through the cement, comes reeling around, like looks all different directions, sees you, comes reeling around the corner.
Nice.
Oh,
Problem.
this isn't going to be good.
Problem. Town. Sorry, hole. Finish hers. Please. You are really not designed.
Apparently, it's another opportunity to be in the wrong place at the right time. Your sister should be along any time now, but
You might get
I
diverted.
I have an obligation.
There was a big hole. It opened in a church in town. She might have gotten diverted. I don't know where she is. I
Like,
gotta go. I promised to freeze.
like what we saw in that village?
More like the lady with the hammer under Westruun. And she'll look at Westruun, the one that hit you and me.
Yep.
Oh, that's gotta go.
Yeah. All right. Full speed. Let's go.
What time is it?
It's getting a little later in the evening. Yeah, you're like, you guys were on the boat, you guys got all saddled up. The ship's coming together and laying a plank does take a minute. So you probably got to Westruun like early, like a little before midday. You guys have all been wandering around the various districts of the city. You've been waiting. I'm gonna say it's like late afternoon going into evening.
So I have reason to expect that my sister will be here soon, very soon.
Possibly, yes.
If it helps. Sorry, I caught my breath. If it helps, we won't go diving down any holes today. We'll probably go poke around. So, if you want to stay, please stay.
I will say this. Maybe this is something that's itching the back of your brain, Ember, as you've spent more time here. Oh, you know what, Cedric? You're like from here, dude. Kiro's like, oh, First Bastion. Like, it went down in the First Bastion, right? You know this city probably better than anybody else here. What kind of starts to strike you for a moment there. The Market District is what separates the Market District and the Residential Ward is the Opal. But so does the Temple Ward. She's probably fine. She's probably fine. So long as she didn't go into the Temple Ward. She would be coming home right around now, but she's probably fine.
Do any of you have the ability to divine or scribe for folks?
It's not something that I've got any experience with. I can do something limited, but it's more of a sending something out to search, and I'll open up Red's flask and pull Red out. Red can look, and and Ember will do, we'll try to do the, a minor illusion to, start with a base gnome, and try to do the the minor illusion version of a police sketch artist drawing to get to your sister.
Yeah, because no need. And with a flick of his finger, a portrait of her comes up. Same spell.
What does she look like? Out of curiosity.
She would be a gnome, not much younger than Cederic himself, so still quite youthful for a gnome. Sort of dirty blonde hair, a face with that, worn with care for one so young. But you can also you see a pretty clear family resemblance as well.
Okay.
Just a quick scry spell just to know that she's where she is. But
well, I will have Red start here and work towards the market district. I'll periodically need to grab onto your shoulder, because periodically I may have to speak to somebody to communicate with Red. But I can do that. I'll just need you to act as my eyes and kind of keep me on task.
All right.
And send Red on his merry way. We'll find her.
All right. We'll find her. Yeah, you're looking for Bane, right? Who you're looking for? You're looking for sister.
Yeah.
Okay. Big city. We'll see what Red turns up.
Before we leave, I'm going to just take a moment, and there's a quick swirling of mist in his hand, and when it clears, there's a tiny little like gecko-like lizard in his palm, just maybe 2 inches long. And he's going to just place it on the windowsill of her house. And I'll instruct Henry, my familiar, to just keep an eye. And I'll check in a couple of times when I can. Just to see if she shows up.
It looks at you with like a big, almost like gecko-y smile, and its tongue like shoots out of its mouth and like swings up and hits itself in the eyeball and like licks its own eyeball, and just kind of tilts its head and smiles.
All right, I'm ready.
I love the round of applause like after that. Okay, cool. So yeah, it just kind of dopely looks at you and you're like, great. And you guys go charging. You guys go all running off together, and not before too long, you make your way to the first bastion, which is beautiful, though probably not the concern right now. Big, beautiful stained glass, giant marble cathedral temple, gorgeous. And standing outside is Beverly, Zarvolg, and Yvain, and a very upset Raven, who's still like at them, and Beverly's like, "We did what you wanted." And you guys come running around the corner.
We know this, Raven?
If Ghost is still pecking at Bev, Kira will snap her fingers and she'll dismiss him.
All right, deal.
He was supposed to be nicer than that.
Okay, that's okay. On top of her black eye, she's got little red marks all around it now.
It's not. I'll talk to him later.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's not fine, but it'll be fine for now.
What's going on? Could I debrief?
giant hole inside the church. Creepy
Yep.
people threw people in.
Hammer-ish.
We will say Zarvol, Givane, and Beverly, you guys keep me up to date because there's plenty of guard
yeah.
activity around here, and with your badges, they'd be very happy to tell you what's going on.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Can I look around the square? I'm looking for any animal, most likely like a pigeon or something that might be hanging about.
Make me a perception check. See if you can seek out an animal of some kind.
17.
17. Because of all the activity here, there isn't like a ton of animal activity, especially considering it's in the city. But you're like looking around. You do see like on the other side of the square, however, there is this like one cat. There's like some kind of alley cat. He's like sitting on a barrel across the square.
All right. I'm going to approach it, not close enough to scare it off. And I'm going to cast Speak with Animals.
All right. Cast a little Speak with Animals. All right, I changed this music. Cast Speak with Animals, and the cat goes, what are you? Why are you getting so close to me?
Greetings, friend. And I'm going to just grab a little bit of food, a ration, and place it down on the ground in front of me.
You think you could and it make an animal handling check. I'll give you advantage because you're bribing it. Bribes grant advantage usually. Nothing like a little extra help in the form of food.
Natural 20.
Hey, it goes,
22.
yeah. It's like, what are you doing? I don't trust you. Ooh, that smells kind of good. And it like down onto the ground, kind of Scarecrow's like, you better not try and eat me or I'll slash your face up. Kind of comes in
dare.
real.
Something as fierce as you.
Yes. You would fear me, it's true. And it comes up and sniffs the food and goes, oh, maybe you are kind of nice. And it starts like eating it's like looking up at you while it like eats the food. It's like, oh, it's really good. It's really good.
I'll just sort of sit down cross-legged in front of it and say,
it definitely is like, as you sit down. It's like, what are you doing? Oh, okay. We're good. We're cool for now. And it keeps eating.
Just had a quick question for you. Or two.
It goes, okay, what do you want to know? As it like finishes the food and starts like walking up to you all cat-like, like it's, prowling a little bit. It goes, what do you want to know?
All of the craziness of the humans that just took place a short while ago. Running around, yelling at each other, attacking each other.
Oh, yes. I watched from the alley. It was at first very scary, so I've made for a more tactically advantageous position, you see. And then I watched. And then there was lots of yelling and attacking and fighting and cat scraps. And then it was over. What do you want to know?
Well, I'm counting on those clever instincts of yours and the sharp eyes that only a cat like yourself could possess.
Yes, I think I rather like you. And then starts to like do the thing that cats do where they like preen and like preens across your knee. And goes, oh yes, you're very nice, aren't you? And starts purring very loudly. Goes, oh yes, you might be a very kind little man.
Well, I will have one more gift for you if you can just tell me, and I will summon up that image of my sister again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you sum up the visage.
She would be smaller than the others, about my height, a little shorter.
Like sniffs it. Yes, yes, I did see her.
See her
She
when?
was, she was coming out of that big building over there, and like looks at the temple. Says, and then the crazy man came running out, pulled her back inside. She was kicking and screaming, and food went everywhere. So I ran out and got some and ran back to the alley for a tactically advantageous position.
Dropping the axe, he just reaches in and just takes the whole rest of the ration and puts it on the ground in front, and sort of absently pats the cat and says, "A blessed long life to you, my friend."
Starts
Stands
eating
and
it.
just walks away.
He goes, "Hey, where are you going?" And starts following you.
Where you would only find death, my little friend. Best to find an advantageous position. And he'll walk up to the rest.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Are we doing this thing or what?
And
Absolutely.
as Cederic does that, you see this black and white cat he was talking to like jump onto his shoulder pauldron and like preen across the side of his mutton chopped face. And goes, "Yes, most safe here. Yes, very advantageous."
We have a new friend.
Isn't the time, but he's so cute.
Nat 20s can be a blessing and a curse a little bit.
Okay, well, let's keep him safe while we do this. Okay, so, hammer bitch, let's get her.
Did you learn anything useful, Cedric? Ember doesn't speak cat.
What?
He'll walk up to the hole and say, "She's down there." And with a flourish, the quarterstaff will appear in one hand, the shield in the other. Let's move.
Red, come to the big church, go down the hole.
All right. Somewhere there's a hand going through the streets. It goes and then turns around and goes in the other direction. So he goes, "Mom, a flying hand!" He goes, "That's nice, honey." Yeah, you. So as you guys get to the hole, you look down. I will. It's bottomless. At least you can't see where the bottom is anyway, and it's dark down there. And Kiro, you saw it just like you had to run through the city to get your friends and come back. So I'm gonna say that was like it's been like 30 minutes since you left and came back. It's gotten a little bit more like twilight in here and around everywhere, I guess. And all of the stained glass windows have kind of like begun to streak across, and the colors in here have changed, grown a little darker. But as you look into the hole, it does look a bit more ominous down there than it did. You see, the ring of darkness where it begins has risen, and the corners around the hole are, I don't want to say sharp. They certainly give the image of like, certainly brings to mind the image of like some great gaping toothy maw. And Yvain, who has been so very connected to the divine, the divination sides of like, you look down into it, Yvain, and you get that almost like Hitchcock pull that sort of like makes you dizzy. And as you look into it, you feel like both you're looking deeper and retracting at the same time, and it makes you dizzy, and you just at the edge of hearing just kind of catch these like, oh, you can't hear me. Fuck. It's gonna be like a cool audible effect. Hang on. There we go. You just sort of like hear at the edge of hearing for yourself, just like you just hear the. Sorry, it's not coming through. I'll say it a little louder because you
Yeah.
just hear like these whispers at the edge, saying things that are almost indistinguishable, but every now and then you catch like, down the earth. Oh yes, deep, nice. In language, like in horrific language that you don't, something unusual at the edge of hearing, and words calling you to its depths, and it makes you dizzy and sort of tracked against it a little bit. It's uncomfortable.
I'm gonna grab onto whoever's like closest to me because if I'm dizzy, and step away and explain what I've just experienced.
How do you describe what you've just experienced? It's very subjective, I imagine.
There is a consciousness down there, or several, something whispering. Above the table, I didn't understand anything you said.
You are
So
meant to.
Okay, cool. There's a sense of invitation, a beckoning to come closer, but it's the same way that the Hammer Sheila did. It's got that same sort of Pied Piper, siren-y sort of thing.
Okay. Well, Cederic and I are going. Do you got a way to go down, Cederic?
Only climbing.
Hold on. I will grab Cedric. And I will fly.
I thought for sure you were just gonna fucking free ball, fly down there and take him out. I thought that was exactly what was happening.
We have the carpet.
All right, no, we have a super cool Ember Human Torch moment again, where you grab onto him and you sort of fly into the sort of center of the room and begin to like do a controlled descent with flame.
I'm gonna grab the cat.
Go ahead, Cedric. Yeah,
I'm gonna grab the cat by the scruff and sort of show it, the hole. And say, you don't want to go down there, do you?
You show the cat the hole. It wraps all of its four limbs around your forearm, digging its claws into whatever it can find, and goes. And she goes. She's like, bad, evil, and like starts like as you like move your hand over, starts like in that crazy fucking panic, crazy cat nonsense way. Just you're like, fuck, okay, and it like jumps off of you and fucking bolts out of that temple, never to be seen again.
So much for new friends.
Yeah, the animals don't like that hole too much. I will say, like, as you're descending, the high priest will be there. He'll say, he'll see you first, Kiro, and he'll say, the defenders of Amon, I would not have asked for better assistance.
Sorry, I meant to mention those are my friends. In fairness, I was going to introduce the two of you. I wasn't going to introduce you before we went down the hole, but...
No, it is quite all right. The diligence in which you act is of no issue to me. I will simply say to you all, go and find out whatever's down there, rescue them, rescue our people, save them, find answers as to what is happening. As the day grows later, so too does the darkness grow stronger. I can feel it. And know that wherever you go, Erathis has been offended. She will be at your side. Her wrath is yours to use.
Yvain is going to take her earring and message Ember and say, some of us might need the carpet.
Oh, yeah. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're descending, Cedric, and suddenly it's like off the tunnel. And Ember, you like land right there. Yeah, Beverly's fully like, she's like, the sword thirsts for the blood of evil folk. Wait. Yeah. How are we going?
Does she
How are
not
we
have
going
her
now?
pauldrons?
Oh, yeah, I do. Geronimo! She like jump. Like fucking yeah, Ember, you're going up and you're like, "Ah." She fucking jumped. And yeah, you get up there and you're like, fucking here, and you like fucking roll out the carpet and go up and fly back down as fast as you can. Everyone jumps on the yeah. She's like, yeah. Yvain, to your regret, you're like, you have the pauldrons. And you're like, she's like, oh, all right, great. And jumps into the hole. Fucking, she's a paladin, at least in heart. And with that, you guys all quickly scramble onto the carpet and descend down into the fucking maw of darkness beneath the temple. Yes, Sarbal.
I just want to point out that for stylistic reasons, I'm going to bat cape down into the hole.
Important note, of course. Yeah, you're like, get on, Sarbal, get on. You're like, no. Oh fuck, okay. And they fly down in and
But the classic Batman with the legs,
yeah. Kira's, you're on the carpet. You
the
like
legs kinked.
Yeah, you look back up at the lights of the temple and you just see the fucking bat signal as Sarbal fucking flies down.
The Christian Bale flutter.
Yeah, the Christian Bale flutter.
As
the high
carpet
priest is like
descends into the tunnel, I'm just gonna look at the high priest and be like, "We got this."
he puts his hand on your shoulder. He says, "Go, hero Kiro. Keep them alive, for they know not what they do."
They usually don't, but it turns out all right in the end.
He's as he politely as possible says, "You're fucking all crazy." Yeah, Kiro, you descend into the tunnel as well. Crazy.
Can I?
Yeah, Dryford. Oh, dude, come on, Monk. Come on, Monk.
Okay, this wasn't gonna be a style choice, but it can be.
Come on, we got.
Fine. I'm gonna make my way by like running down at first, and then just kind of like hopping from wall to wall.
Okay, so what occurs is basically a fucking Team America approach, where, like, you know what? Absolute.
I was actually gonna throw a healing word on Kiro.
Oh, sure. By all means, man. By all means.
I was gonna throw a first level healing word at Kiro.
Okay. I gotta set the tone here real quick.
Fuck yeah. 9.
While we were hanging out waiting at my sister's place, could we have been considered to have taken a short rest to get back those 14 hit points?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, you guys are like, let's fucking go. Let's do this. I hope this is the right. Yes, this is it. Okay. This is what happens. Beverly jumps into the hole. Fucking, but she's not graceful at all. She's like falling into the tunnel, ragdolling it down into the tunnel. Ember fucking Cedric alarms like a fucking jet engine descending into the tunnel. Cedric limbs flapping in the wind as he descends into the darkness. Drystrin like leap of faith goes into the hole, starts like running vertically down the wall like Tom Cruise and like jumping from side to side, like down all of the way. Yvain's like fucking on the carpet, just like flying down, and Sarbal opens up the wings and descends. This is like the most disjointed Justice League fucking situation that ever happened. The High Priest is like, go now. Go in the name of Erathis, you fucking Looney Tunes. And descend into the blackness you go, and where things get a little bit more grim. No, enough of you, America. Okay. You descend into the tunnels of the earth. Let's see here. Give me. Is it this guy? we're just gonna go into the darkest depths and pits of the earth real quick. See if I can't find them.
On the way down, I'd like to dismiss and then recall my familiar,
No problem.
and probably throw up a long strider as well.
This cave might seem familiar, but it's just going to be a placeholder for now, so we're getting the vibes correctly. Yeah, and we're not actually in the Onkeg cave, but nonetheless, you descend down. At this point, all of you definitely hear the sound at the edge of hearing. You, for all intents and purposes, like enter into this great maw, into the blackness of the earth. If Erathis' temple is above, something else's temple is below. And within the blackness and the darkness, at the edge of your hearing, you're going down. All of you at the edge of your hearing. For you, Yvain, you're probably literally like holding your head as it's like, yes, you have it. It's almost like this cacophony in your ear. Yes, sir, Zarval.
Is it deep speech?
Ooh, good question. Oh, fuck. We're drawing them out. Give me a moment. It might be. Give me a moment. I gotta find out. It's definitely like there's like a little common in there, for sure.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, make me a perception check because it is very cacophonous and disjointed and very hard to hear to start. Yeah, not
Perception?
a hard DC though. Perception, yeah.
That's a dirty 19.
Oh yeah, you're gonna hear it. That's fine. Oh now. Okay, here we go. This. Oh fuck! It could be any one of them. There is undercommon involved. It is not one but many languages. It's not just one language in there. There's common. There is deep speech in there. There is something more bleak mixed in, which I think you'd recognize from your, ironically, here in Westruun, when you confronted the demons. So there might be some abyssal mixed in.
Abyssal, okay.
But basically, every language you don't want to be hearing is kind of in your ear. But it is just sort of like the words being a mix of sort of like, yes, come deeper, go down, feel the depths, come into the... And as the deeper you go, the more the words become a little more disturbing. It goes from like, yes, down to the earth, but yes, to stone. Stone is strong, it breaks. You break, stone, break. There's much to be learned. All of these things start to come to you, yes?
Underneath Iman, I had an experience where something was speaking to me inside my noggin. Is this reminiscent of that or no?
Yes. I think to those of you who have experienced telepathy before, you would understand, though it does sound like a whisper in your ear, like somebody was sitting next to your ear whispering. You maybe you recognize a psychic power, or at least a telepathic communication when you notice it, Zarbog. And anyone who looks around, you're all fucking falling in your various ways, so you can't really look over at anybody right now. But each of you is experiencing this, so it's not like you have an invisible person at your ear. Yeah.
Yep. Interesting.
Okay. You eventually touch down. Beverly is certainly the first to have gone to the ground. She doesn't seem any worse for wear, nor does she seem surrounded in danger. You definitely see she's got her sword out, kind of pointing around in the darkness. As clearly she's the first sign to all of you that you're not the only one hearing whatever you can hear. And she's clearly experiencing probably what you're experiencing. As you all touch down, her she doesn't seem unconfident. And very much so. Now that she bears the sword, she seems to have regained quite a bit of confidence. And though she's in the pitch black of some fucking hole, of darkness, she bears the blade with courage into the darkness. And as you all come in around her, her confidence grows, but it's not like a releasing of fear. It's just like a, good, I got my guys kind of thing. But yes, let's see here. You're in pitch black. Who lights up?
Is it it's this regular darkness, not magical darkness?
Only one way to find out.
All right.
I will say you could look up, and if it matters to you, you can look straight up and see the opening of the tunnel up above. So
Okay.
presumably not magical.
But yeah, those with dark vision can see, right?
It's a good point. Yes, that's a very good point.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
So who here? It doesn't have dark vision. Weird doesn't. I think pretty much everybody does, though. Ironically, I think it's only Beverly who can't see that. Oh, but she got the goggles. Didn't she get the goggles? No, she doesn't have goggles. Oh, no, okay. No goggles, unfortunately. So she can't quite see.
She's been using the moon spear.
Right, she has been using the moon spear. Unfortunately, the sword is a two-handed weapon, but seeing is believing. So as you all get there, I think she does kind of. She goes. You do see her kind of like go to put the sword away, and she like literally speaks at the sword. She goes, "Oh, don't worry. I'm sure there'll be plenty to be done." And she'll put it away, and then she'll draw the spear, and it'll gleam with silvery light as she bears it in her hands. You look around the tunnel. Bodies around your ankles.
Ooh, human bodies? Or humanoid bodies?
Not all human, but certainly recently deceased humanoids, not dressed unlike a commoner of Westruun.
Can Kiro make a perception check? Because she was in the temple and she would have seen some of the people that got thrown in towards the end. Can she make a perception check and just see if she sees those people?
Yeah. I will say make a investigation check. It's a little dim here to just like peek around. As a side note, I'm sure everybody would kind of gather what they are, but Kiro, you would certainly know. You do see amongst them that they're not the only bodies. You do see the bodies of some of these cultists who attacked as well. And like very clearly impact.
So panicked, I'm just going through trying to see if I find my sister in it.
Investigation. What'd you get, Kiro?
I got a 14. If it helps, I can see, I can see in magical and non-magical darkness within 120 feet of myself. It's like an Eldritch invocation that I just took when I leveled up.
Yeah, great one. Good choice. Cederic, what did you get?
Total of 20.
Very nice. So, Kiro, maybe it's because you're not moving as fast as Cederic or not with as much, panic. But you're looking around. You do recognize. Okay, so you remember when you first entered the temple, and those two guys turned to attack you, and the one closest to Hole just like threw somebody in there. You find that person. That specific person who was like straight up tossed in. Cederic, you're looking through the bodies as much you can. There are probably 12 bodies here. Your feet all, as you walk around this cavern, are sticky with not quite coagulated blood along the floor. And you find yourself relieved to note, Cederic, after a thorough but panicked investigation, there isn't even a gnome here. Your sister is not among them. There are tunnels. There are more tunnels to follow. There is evil about, darkness about, and I think for some of you, the signs are quite clear. The witness below and her god of pain have dominion here. It is a familiar miasma that is in this tunnel, and the darkness of this underworld, this underdark, you must confront if you are to save Cederic's sister. If you are to defeat this witness below, you must descend deeper into the labyrinth lair of Orog's domain, the god of torturers, of torment, pain, of malice. But we'll do that next week. We'll end the session there.
Huzzah!
My one regret